Good afternoon and welcome to a quite unique Eyes Up Mother Brown KUMB TV. As you can see, there's only two of us here today. It's only myself and Gnome. That's because Rio and the Pink Palermo have got themselves tickets to the game. Whatever next, eh? Unbelievable. All right for some, Gnome, eh?
Yeah, definitely. I tried on Thursday when the thing came up and fell foul of the highly complex, sophisticated web system, which dangled a ticket in front of you every now and then
Yep.
whipped it away. There weren't too many single tickets. So it was fine if you were going with people you had a network with. People knobby no mates like me. Even when I did click on a ticket, everything froze up, and so no, I didn't get a ticket. So.
Okay, well, there you go. So I tried, of course. I sat on the phone line for 40 minutes and got to the end of it, and they said, they've all run out. There's none left. And I complained to the club. I said, let us know. Put a message out telling people that there aren't any available, rather than let them sit on the phone for 40 minutes in vain hope. And anyway, they put the message out. But so there it is, two of us today. We do hope, however, that at some point we might be joined by Rio and the Pink Palermo if we can get something from them at the stadium. Of course, we know notoriously bad there's the connection at the ground, although it has improved, of course, fairly recently. But anyway, without further ado, we shall go straight through to today's teams. West Ham v Southampton. The Hammers, of course, need just 1 point to confirm a place in Europe next season and a top 6 finish. We can then actually claim to be a top 6 club, unlike another certain club from London who could yet finish above us. So we'll not count our chickens just yet. But Gnome, over to you for the teams, please, buddy.
Okay, well, good news for us in the form of Fabianski, whose knee problem kept him out the other night. Seems to have healed up nicely. Hurrah. So we line up as follows. Fabianski in goal. Soufal, Dawson, Ogbonna, Cresswell, Suchek, Rice, Bowen, who comes in for Benrahma, Lingard, Fornals, and Antonio. And on the bench we have, if my computer can move a little bit, thank you. On the bench we have Balbuena, Yarmolenko, Benrahma, Noble, Diop, Fredericks, Johnson, Randolph, and Odebeku. The visitors, Southampton, line up usually line up a 4-4-2 with this lot. So they start with McCarthy in goal, then Walker-Peters, Bednarek, Vestergaard, Salisu, Armstrong, Ward-Prowse, Diallo, Minamino, Ings, and Redmond. And unless there's been any last-minute change, I think, yes, this afternoon's referee is Mr. Martin Atkinson. There we go. That's where we are.
Excellent. Good stuff. I guess the obvious talking point there is the change. Jared Bowen coming back into the team and Benrahma slipping onto the bench. Any surprise for you, though? Did you feel that Benrahma might start today?
They're kind of... oh, sorry, my screen's gone a little bit funny. Yeah, I think they're kind of... when he's got this sort of squad available to him, that's the kind of interchangeable one, and he goes with how they're looking in training, I suspect. I mean, if you look at the others, that pretty much picks itself. If everyone's fit there. So, it doesn't really surprise me. I mean, Benrahma didn't really make much of an impact. I think he had that one shot, didn't he?
Yeah.
And Bowen sort of looked a little bit livelier coming on from the bench. Not much to add to that.
No, there you go. I should stress, we were talking of stress. We were both a little bit stressed a few minutes ago trying to find a stream. I didn't think I had one. Gnome didn't think he could get Sky One, which is where the game is being broadcast apparently this afternoon. But looks like everything's good now. We think we're both good to go. So we should be able to pass comment as the match goes on. As always, no doubt, Gnome will be a good 15 or 20, 25 seconds ahead of me. So I'll be providing the catch-up. But as I said earlier, we are hoping that Rio and the Pink Palermo will be able to join us at some point from the London Olympic Stadium, where both of them are joined along with about another 9,998 supporters. What do you reckon it's going to be like in there, Gnome, today? Obviously, it's it's going to be something of a party atmosphere, unless it all goes horribly wrong. But it's going to be a strange atmosphere, isn't it? You'd expect today.
I think most. I'm guessing on most clubs that when they had the home crowds in midweek, there was a general sort of decent atmosphere, insofar as people were just dead happy to be back. I think, with one obviously notable exception,
Yes,
where they were booing the team off at half time. So I mean, we're in a good position, and if we play well, then it's just going to get more and more fun. and I should point out that I knew I could get Sky One.
Yeah,
I just wasn't 100% confident that they were actually going to put us on there as advertised. The reason being that they seem to sort of talk about every other club in the country, but us in the few minutes before they actually went over to that stadium. So it's sort of a bit like the other night when that was West Ham, but of course let's go to Jurgen Klopp in case you can't be bothered to turn over the channel.
Typical Sky, wasn't it? Typical Sky, that was. I should. One thing we've got to do before it's become almost tradition now this season is we go through the T-shirts to see what everybody's wearing today. Gnome, I see a bit of prog rock coming up again this afternoon.
It's an IQ Christmas gig T-shirt.
Right.
Personally, it's prog anyway, and I probably have more IQ T-shirts than anything else. And secondly, it's being worn because it's a Christmas gig T-shirt. Being worn in honour of the good people of the Basingstoke and Dean Borough Council, who on the B3400 approach to the leisure centre this morning have still got their dot matrix sign on, informing us that the park and ride will be in operation in the run up to Christmas between 10 and 10 a.m. 6 p.m. every day.
Are they not just getting in there early?
I don't think they switched it off since the year before last. No,
since 2006. Yeah.
I went down to the Folks for the weekend, and as is traditional on the Sunday before I come back, I usually take Jeff bowling at the Hollywood Bowl. It's the first time we've been able to go for months and months and months.
Yep.
So so it was kind of when I got in, I just took off my shirt that I was wearing to drive back, and I thought, well, what can I go? This was on the top. I thought it's Christmas. Yeah, what the hell?
Good stuff. Well, we know your T-shirts have been bringing us a little bit of good luck this year. So and obviously it's that and nothing else. We accept that. It is of course down to those T-shirts. Not David Moyes or anything like that. So there you go. Good omens for today. I, of course, am wearing, if I can just squeeze up a little bit today, I am wearing the Iron Supporting Food Banks T-shirt, which was kindly sent to me by JR, John Ratomski, who has been leading that particularly fantastic campaign for the last couple of years. So my thanks to John. He also sent me a couple of badges as well, which are really quite cool. Not quite sure where I'm going to put these yet, but look at these. Not only are they Iron Supporting Food Banks badges, but they also come in different colours. Amazing. I love those. It's a blue one as well. Look, where is it? There you go. Iron Supporting Food Banks. If you can donate a little bit of cash or a little bit of grub to the campaign to Iron Supporting Food Banks, do so. Have a look at their website, have a look at the Twitter feed, and get involved. Fantastic campaign run by John Ratomski. So thank you again to John for the T-shirt. Also sent young Harry, my son, one as well, so he's delighted with that. Thank you, John, for that. I believe John's at the game today, so I hope you have a good one. Our hellos known to everybody on the stream who's joining us live. Just having a quick look now to see who we got on there. We've got Hobo again, Peter Singh, Medellin, my hairdresser, Mark English, Tommy Eldridge, SH, Dan B, Polaroid. Good to see you all, ladies and gentlemen, once again. And I do believe the teams are coming out as we speak.
Yeah, teams are actually walking out now with those strange things that puff flame into the sky. Go on. So I've never understood why they do that for a football match. It's and Bubbles is playing.
Good stuff.
For some reason, my Sky thing keeps flicking on to the subtitles, and I've got the subtitle on the screen that reads Europe is still on the agenda. Brackets, crowd singing in unison. Close brackets.
Excellent. Lovely, lovely. We better get our predictions in quickly. After you
3-1.
go first.
Got it in. There you go. 3-1. It's yours.
3-1. I've not even thought about this at all. We've got a good record against this, haven't they? I think we've beaten them both times that Hassan Hootle's come to the LOS. And we've had a good record against them at home recently. They've still got a little bit to play for, haven't we? You know, we said a few weeks ago that they might be one of those teams that doesn't really have anything to go for at the end, but you know, they can still fit. I think was it Preview Percy said they can finish anywhere between 12th and 17th as things stand.
I think that was right at the time of writing, but I think there were loads of midweek games still to play at that point. So whether or not that's actually true now,
Right.
I know he was getting in early because of having got midweek games in and stuff to do at the weekend.
Yeah.
He was kind of, I think he had kind of a lot of that pre-written. So
it's almost as if you know him well.
Yeah, fairly well, unfortunately.
All right, so you're going for a 3-1. Oh gosh, look, it wouldn't be West Ham, would it, if it wasn't nervy and you know, just a little bit of a nail-biting finish to the season. So I think I'm going to go for a draw. I think I'm going to go for a. Let's have a look. What should we say? Should we say let's go for an entertaining 2-2 draw? West Ham clinging on to a point right at the end. I hope we don't. I hope we win comfortably, and I'm sure we probably will. But just to give it a bit of diversity in our predictions, I'll go for. So Gnome going for a 3-1 win. I'll go for a 2-2 draw. Let us know what you guys think following us on the live stream. Just seeing a few coming now. Craven Moorhead says, 2-1 loss, sadly. Medellin going for a 3-0 win. Mark English a 5-0 win. Peter Singh 1-0 to the Hammers. Polaroid a 2-1. You're all very confident. I like to see it. Let's hope you're all right come the end of the game. No, we haven't spoken about Southampton an awful lot yet. A couple of very strong players. Danny Ings, really good player. James Ward-Prowse, another one. Who was the lad who was it Romeo who was injured and is coming back today? I can't quite remember who it was.
He's on the bench, actually. Yeah, I mean, he's been out for a while, I think. But I've just watching the teams on the screen there now, and he's on the bench. Just having a look through now. I'll get their team up in front of me. I've got a very, very, very slow computer connection today, so I haven't been able to get onto the stream thing to say hello to anybody. We'll see what they're saying. So if I can leave that to you, it's. I'll shut that down.
While you're doing that, a couple of messages on Twitter. Tony Cotty says, I'm at West Ham today and looking forward to watching the boys. One final push and European football awaits. So let's hope TC brings us a little bit of luck. Not a lot else going on there at the moment. Southampton anyway. Okay, good stuff.
Just started and football played long from Southampton. It's just back on the halfway line. Time check, we're on 13, 14, 15 seconds.
Okay, I'm standing in the centre circle, lowering the knee, taking the knee. Oh, they've just got up. So I'll tell you when I kick off so you can tell me exactly where you are. We haven't kicked off yet. There you go. Bang, kick off. Where are we? Must be 30 seconds.
30 seconds exactly behind us.
30. That must be a new record. 30 seconds. That's going some. But anyway, that's good because it means whenever anything happens, you can wake me up and I can be alert to watch it on my replay. Southampton, West Ham United, we're underway. West Ham, of course, need just 1 point to guarantee a top 6 finish, and we will be legitimately a top 6 club, unlike some others we could mention who like to pretend they are. A couple more predictions coming in. Steve Palmer, 2-1 defeat. I think that is Steve. I think it's 2-1 loss. Tommy Eldridge, 2-1 win. So keep them coming. Steve Page says, afternoon, chaps. Can't remember if I said last time, but last time we played them at the last game of the season was back in 1994 when the North Bank was bulldozed. It was a 3-3 then, which is his prediction today. Do you remember that day, Gnome?
Vaguely, for reasons which it was a long old day. I'm just thinking as to what I did that weekend. It was one of those very, very long weekends that started on the Friday night, and I think I had the Monday off as well. So,
shocking.
Yeah,
shocking.
It was vaguely. Long ball from the back, played basically in the general direction of our left-hand side,
Yeah.
as is often common. It went straight out for a goal kick, but I don't know if that may be an indicator of any sort of tactic. But been very scrappy this first 2 minutes or so. But now Antonio plays in Lingard, tries to get in Souček, who a little deflection, nearly had Souček in there. That was a promising move, just a little flick off defender that stopped that. But promising little ball there. So West Ham begin to build again, trying to build again with a throw in, but it's all the way back in our half now.
Okay.
So not much of a pattern to the game so far at all. It's really sort of people just getting to grips with it, and no sort of discernible possession pattern.
Okay.
West Ham now just having a bit of possession, but Souček's been caught in possession. Southampton had 3-on-2 if they're clever here, but that's well, it was a great tackle, but it's still with Southampton now, and I think it's Redmond tries to get a cross in. It's cleared again. Another cross in, headed clear, and the clearance is completed to the halfway line. So Souček a little bit caught in possession there, and that put us on the back foot. And Southampton had numbers on us there for a minute or so, and really didn't make the most of it.
We saw that the other day, didn't we? Souček caught in possession a couple of times. Most don't like him. We haven't seen it a lot this season.
Yeah, I think the other one was where he tried to control it on his chest, and it didn't quite control it well. This was, he got it on the, he was on the floor with it at the time. Got the ball on the floor, and he was just caught there. Ball played out with Antonio, who's marshalled well there by the defence, and back with the McCarthy and the Southampton goal there. So not much to report, really. Just a minor skirmish, shall we say.
You mentioned playing on the floor there, which takes me back to another West Ham v South, memorable West Ham and Southampton match at the Bowling a few years back. It was at the time, I think it might have been Nigel Adkins was in charge of the Saints, and Sam Allardyce was in charge of us, and they came, and from the first minute their fans were singing "We play on the floor."
Yeah, remember that?
Southampton, yeah. We play on the floor, and we absolutely smashed them off the park. We beat them 4-1. And it was a fantastic day. Not many, we didn't see many four goal victories under Allardyce at the Bowling, but that day was an absolute joy to be there. And good day that was. Good day.
Ball played square across, and Diallo from about 30 yards completes the conversion, shall we say. It was very, very high. So again, I know that's probably the first proper shot of the game. 35 yards, basically hit it first time, left foot, left back. And hopefully they got the balls a little bit closer. So we actually didn't have to go miles away to pick that one up. So goal kick anyway. Yeah.
First, I think, is that the first shot of the day?
I think so. Yeah.
Fifth minute. We'd take that, I suppose, wouldn't we? Quite day.
Lingard's just had his legs taken away from him. Free kick to West Ham. Lingard looks to take it quickly, but it's crowded out, and so it'll be Southampton will get all their players back anyway. And Cresswell is looking to take it. It's about 10 yards into the Southampton half, slightly left of centre, and Dawson's gone up for it, and so we're looking for a decent delivery. Souček's in there as well. Ball played down the line, and Lingard actually gets the line, gets the cross in, but nobody's gone that far up. And I think there's a flag for offside. I think Lingard may have gone too soon there. But let's have a look. Yeah, Lingard started from an offside position, jogged back half a yard, but didn't quite get onside before the free kick was taken. As it happened, there was nobody in the 6-yard box to get on the end of the cross. But rightly, the lines were flagged for offside. So,
okay, good stuff. We've done our predictions already, haven't we, for the final score? What we haven't done our predictions for is when they're going to show that blasted stat about goals from set pieces.
Well, yeah.
What do you reckon? How long?
Yeah.
Well, we didn't get it till right at the end against Albion, did we, the other day? So
at all. I didn't think we got it at all because
maybe not. Maybe it was. They're coming thick and fast, these games lately. Maybe it was the game before we didn't get it
I think
right.
the Albion game we didn't get it at all.
Okay.
Some nice passing there between saying that commentators curse, as they say, a loose ball and Southampton can clear. There was Lingard was involved there, so long ball played up. Dawson has to be a little bit careful with the header, but heads it back nicely to one of those awkward ones. It's dropping back over your head. You've got a striker coming behind you. Make a mess of that, you look silly, but it did very well with it.
I've got to say, I'm looking around the stadium today. Although there are only 10,000 people in it, it kind of reminds me of every home game under Pellegrini from about the 70th minute onwards. Just looking at the way everyone's spaced out.
Yeah. We had a ball played up to Antonio. Antonio's nodded it on. Bowen seemed to be rather bemused at being given offside. I don't know why he's being bemused, because it was a clear yard. There was clear yards worth of daylight there. So definitely offside. Flicked it off the defender, which would have been a corner had he remained onside. But it was just the look of astonishment on his face when really there was no doubt about it.
I think, is it not? It looks like one of those where, you know, I guess traditionally you're used to being blown offside the moment it happens, and maybe the fact that it was allowed to play on, he kind of wasn't sure, perhaps, but. It's different these days. It's not like the old days when you knew when you were offside straight away, the call would go up. Doesn't happen, of course, these days. West Ham United 0, Southampton 0. 8 minutes gone exactly on my stream. We're probably midway through the first half on Gnomes, but I'm pretty sure there's no goals either way.
Yeah, when you said 8 minutes exactly, it was 25 seconds. You seem to have caught up by 5 seconds. Now, ball played down the left, and that's class play from Ogbonna. Basically gets goal side. Fact, I think it was fouled there, but it's gone out for a goal kick anyway. Just got the right side, shepherded it out despite the little nudge there from Ings. And I'd say no pattern to the game at all so far. It's there's no sort of nobody really sort of building up ahead of possession and keeping anybody else pinned in. Very patchy, very very scrappy. Of course, I'll settle for this at full time, of course, under the circs.
Yeah, we should. Well, I guess we should try and keep everyone up to date with what's going on elsewhere as well, because not everyone will have access to the. I'm
just trying to dial it up now on my computer screen, as I say. So, the whole just looking through now.
I don't think there's a goal, is there? I
don't think there is, actually, having said that. Looking through. No goals anywhere at the moment. Between 6 and 9 minutes going as the latest update, and not a goal anywhere at present. Interesting stat here. If in the absence of Rio, it's the only stat I've got for the day, by the way. If Sheffield United lose today, they'll become the first team to lose 30 games in a 40 game in a season less than 40 games long. Now Antonio's blocked a ball and he's got a bit of space here on the right. Cross in. Soucek was coming in, but cleared away. Now Southampton can actually break. Now this is looking a bit dangerous. Again, Southampton could have 3 or 2. Minamino's through. He's through. Chips it wide. He's just chipped it wide. That's the first proper cast iron chance of the day. West Ham caught a little bit on the break there. It was a good cross in from Antonio, but Ings played a nice ball in, and then the ball was laid through to Minamino, who slightly left the centre. He just chipped it past Fabianski, but also past the far post.
Oh, I've seen it come up on the screen.
So yeah, that's no more than about a foot wide. So
it's one of those. I hate being behind you on the stream, but that was one of those occasions where I'm kind of glad I was, because I think I might have been having kittens, when he broke through there, especially when he touched it. It did look like it was going in, didn't it, at one point?
Yeah. That angle they just showed there from behind the goal, if you catch that one up, that's the one you don't want to watch
got it
without
now.
knowing what's happening
Oh,
next.
it looks like it's going in. It looks for all the world like it's going in.
Yeah.
Could be the bit of luck we need. Hopefully it'll be the kick up the arse that we need, because it's been a pretty slow start from the Hammers. Minamino, 2 goals I think he's scored since moving from Liverpool. Not been exactly prolific, is he?
So, nearly a good ball played in the box, just cut out there. I think there's a couple of players not quite in the same wavelength there, and Southampton can bring it away again. I think Minamino, although signed by Liverpool to sell shirts in Japan, let's be honest, but it's signed as a striker, and when Liverpool were playing him, usually in the League Cup, he was getting games as a striker. I think Southampton have been playing him deeper and more as a sort of wide midfielder or even a winger. Now Lingard's got some space. He's got to the byline, keeps it in, looking for help. Cresswell's come back. Now Antonio, the edge of the box, makes a bit of space for himself and does well to keep the ball there. It's just a little clip, but so West Ham now keeping the ball nicely in the final third of Southampton. Ball played back, and Cresswell out to Fornals. Crossed in from Fornals, takes a slight nick, and Southampton head it away. And Cresswell covers that out, and we get the throw in.
We thought we had a goal. No, I can just interject for a second there. Looks like Leeds thought they had scored. There was a huge roar, apparently, at Elland Road as Jack Harrison put the ball in the back of the net, but it was disallowed for offside. So we're still looking for the first goal of the day in the Premier League. And, of course, as we've been saying since the start, if every game stays 0-0, we'd be very, very happy little Hammers indeed, because that would see us qualify for the Europa League and finish 6th.
Sorry, just looking at it. Bowen tried to lay a ball back. Soufal did well to keep that live, really, because there wasn't really enough on the layback from Bowen to make Soufal the favourite to win that one. But he did. We've retained possession, albeit it's deep in our own half now. Need to be a little bit more positive there, Bowen.
So some good news. Slightly, it is related to West Ham. It probably isn't going to have much of an impact at the end of the day. But Manchester City have scored. Everton, who could technically overtake the Hammers if they won by about, several goals at Man City, are behind. Kevin De Bruyne scoring for Man City after 13 minutes. So 11 minutes, sorry, on the clock. And Manchester United have also scored at Wolves. So the two Manchester clubs opening the scoring for us on this final day of the Premier League season. Good news for West Ham, that one, no? We'll take that. That's a good start.
Although, as you say, Everton at Manchester City, I can't remember how many goals they needed, but it was certainly dozens more than they were ever going to get up there. So.
Yeah. Thank you to Dan Robinson and Hate the Spuds. Nice little username that, for also pointing that out on the live stream. Good stuff. West Ham, of course, 0-0, but it looks like we're beginning to get back into this a little bit. But I'm kind of worried, because the two best chances Southampton have created so far, the Diallo shot and the Minamino effort that was just wide, both come on the break. And we've been caught like this a few times in recent weeks, haven't we? Yeah,
I mean, it's not quite got to the stage where every time we get a corner, I'm worried we might concede, which has happened in the past. I'll break off this. Southampton on the attack, Redmond out left-hand side of the book. Oh, he's been caught offside. It's one of those ones where he's teeing up the cross, and then sees the flag goes off and he just kicks it away 2 feet. You're thinking, well, no, he didn't go away. Soufal didn't get back far enough to play him on there. So, but it's just you're waiting for the cross there, and all of a sudden it all stops and he kicks it away.
I'm just on my stream. I'm seeing Southampton build on the left-hand side. So I'm just no. I should point out actually that because there are only 2 of us here today, we are having to take on quite a few additional tasks. Both Gnome and I are going to be keeping an eye on the two teams' forums today. Gnome is going to be keeping an eye on KUMB.com's match thread, and I'm looking at Saints Web to keep an eye on the match thread there to see what's going on. I've just seen Oh, okay. That's interesting. There was a message on Saints Web saying that fighting has started before the game kicks off. And I thought that's interesting, because there's only one set of fans there today, but apparently that's in-house fighting on the Saints Web forum. So a good start for Southampton. Anything happening? Anything interesting on the KUMB.com forum?
I did warn you, my computer's incredibly slow at the moment, and I haven't got it open yet. So I'll come back to you as soon as that's refreshed and opened.
Okay.
I've got various things. It's an old computer, various things open, and also my Wi-Fi is also being used by the camera on my phone here as well. So um, I suspect when it opens, we'll find out how everyone's thinking about West Brom. So okay, so yeah, got to the opening page anyway.
Well, that's a start. I can tell you that on the Saints web forum, that there was reaction to the Minamino effort. A poster called NTA 786 says, "We know how this game will go. Minamino misses the 1-on-1 just wide. We know how this game will go. Dominate the first half, lose 3-0 in the second half." So we'll
for that.
we'll all take that one for sure. Let us know when you're in on the KUMB forum, and we'll
Yeah,
catch up with that.
Probably 89th minute. Rice was just about to play a ball out wide on the right, and it's just been caught. Now then, Leicester have just gone 1-0 up against Spurs. Vardy penalty, I've just seen. They've just, I don't know if you got that soon, they've just cut to it. So that's verified. I've seen it go in with my own eyes.
And there's also another goal at Man City, I think. No.
Yeah, well,
don't know if you've got that yet.
Corner to West Ham, and they're not showing the stat. They're giving us the as it stands. So, yeah, corner to West Ham on the right-hand side. Bowen's down there to take it as the usual reinforcements come up. In comes the corner. Oh, well, keeper came for it, dropped it. Looked up in that way that keepers do, saying, if I've dropped it, it must be a foul. I don't think it was. I think he went into a bonner. Have a look at it now. And well, there doesn't seem to be a foul there. I don't think he's given one. I'll give a closer look now.
Yeah. I'm just seeing the corner now on my screen, so talk me through it.
I mean,
Bowen's crossed.
No players in front of him, I think, there. And yeah, that's not a foul by any stretch of the imagination. It came off McCarthy, came off Walker Peters, trickled towards the goal, but they managed to clear it. So anyway, it's not foul. And Fornals has a shot which, sorry, was that Fornals? Lingard, sorry, had a shot which has gone out for a throw-in, which tells you all you need to know on that. So
yeah. I'm just watching the replay of that corner. I mean, absolutely no contact there on the goalkeeper. He's just fumbled it, and Southampton made a mess of it. But as is often the way these days, if the ball, goes loose in the 6-yard box and the goalkeeper sticks his hands up, a free kick's given. It's happening. Everything's happening elsewhere, I should say. Liverpool close to going behind. Andros Townsend 1-on-1, similar to Minamino at the London Olympic Stadium, but also put it wide of the far post. So it's still 0-0 at Anfield between Palace and Liverpool. Man City are 2-0 up against Everton. Great news again for the Hammers. Gabriel Jesus making it 2-0. So Everton, I think we can pretty much count out now as a challenge. The only other one we've got to worry about is Tottenham. And of course, Jamie Vardy has just scored for the Foxes to put Leicester 1-up at home there against. So it's all going our way so far.
Yeah, that's Vardy's first goal in about 20 games, is it?
Yes, yes. Oh, Leeds are winning as well now. I see. Did we mention that one? Leeds 1-up against West Brom?
Hang on a second. Southampton on the attack and a couple of shots raining in there. Well, I have to pick the bones out of that one.
Okay.
But they're still on the attack, so I'll come back to you with the height. But Fabianski's made a save, and they've had another shot blocked.
Okay.
Southampton having a shot, and they've had a shot from 30 yards, which is blocked. And now we've won the ball, but not quite finding Lingard there. Southampton can come back. Fabianski came out and had to kick away. And Souček's won the ball off things, and Fabianski can complete the clearance. They're going to show that again when things calm down a little.
We look a bit nervous out there, don't we, at the moment?
Yeah.
Defensively.
This last minute or two have got some possession. That's a nice ball in it. Minamino's got goal side, and it's I think that's a corner. That should have been 1-0. West Ham looking plaintively at the linesman, who's nothing doing. Let's have a look at it again. Oh, I think he might have just been onside there. Brings the
Okay.
ball down well, shoots, and it goes wide for a corner, I think, of Fabianski. Have a look here.
It's a
Yeah,
great
good
save.
save from Fabianski in the end, yeah.
Great save. Was he? I mean, obviously he's onside if it's been given for a corner, but it looked very, very
So I
dubious
think
to
if
me.
that had gone in, I think we might have actually gotten a disallowance, not for the corner. I think when he controlled it, it flicked up off his foot onto his arm. But
Yeah.
corners came, played across, headed wide. Curling shot from Ward-Prowse just goes a foot, Armstrong rather, goes a foot over. So, yeah, a couple of iffy minutes there, shall we say.
Yeah, very much so. Leeds United have scored, having had one disallowed a little while ago. Langer heading in, connecting with James's cross from the left to put Leeds United one up. So the goal's beginning to come in. But as we said, it's all looking very, very good for West Ham at the moment, a quarter of the way into the game. Everton 2-0 down at Manchester City. Tottenham 1-0 down at Leicester, and the Hammers are not looking particularly strong, but at the moment it's goalless, which would, if those results remained until, or if those scorelines remained until the final whistle, West Ham would finish 4 points clear of both Tottenham and Everton. I'm sure it's not going to be as simple as that, and there'll be lots more to go before then. Yeah, we're not looking that great at the moment. No, I'm looking very, very nervous.
Foul on the right-hand side of the box. Dummies chips a little crossing out, it's blocked, and against Southampton to bring it away. And Minamino's actually looking quite lively, although, as I say, he's had 2 good chances where he really ought to have done better with. So maybe we're seeing why he's only got 2 goals this season for Southampton.
Yeah. We have another goal.
As I say, that little spell for Southampton was, a little bit worrying, shall we say. I wasn't panicking, but well, we got the first possession stat of the day, 52% West Ham.
Okay.
But there's the one, the attempts, 5 attempts from Southampton, 1 from West Ham. So
6 according to the BBC for Southampton.
Yeah. And only 1 on target for Southampton. Cross from the left from Redmond. And I'm not sure who got the header in there, but I think that was going wide anyway. Fabianski dealt with it. It wasn't a great header, but Redmond beating Soufal far too easily out there. And
yeah, it's a funny one, this, because we said that Southampton didn't have anything to play for.
Got inside the box. Ball was played out to Fornals, who just did shot from just inside the box, but really nothing behind the shot, and easily dealt with by McCarthy.
Yeah, I was just going to say there that we were saying before the game that Southampton might not have anything to play for, but it looks like rather than having 1 foot on the beach already, they're playing with the sort of freedom that situation affords you. Definitely the better side in the opening 22 or 23 minutes. There is another goal I should point out in the Premier League. Fulham are behind at home to Newcastle, so. The goal's beginning to go in now, but all very favourable for West Ham so far. 25 minutes gone, just about.
Armstrong's the latest to have a shot for Southampton, right from the edge of the box, and he's chipped it high and wide. I've got the forum open. It takes a while to scroll between the pages. My favourite thing so far from before kickoff, WC Pete. Don't know if it's a kind of omen, but I got up at 6 a.m. here to find a big dinner plate-sized pile of dog diarrhea on my hallway carpet. I spent the last hour and a half trying to clean it up. It's not set the right tone so far.
I don't know. I think it probably matches West Ham's performance so far.
Right. Bit of possession for West Ham, but again, we can't get it on the floor. Now, Rice does so, and plays it to Bowen, and Bowen's whoever that is has just gone right through the back of Bowen. So free kick, decent position as well. I'd say that. Just been, just went straight to the back of him. I'm just trying to move the forward a little bit. But about 35 yards outside the box, fairly central. Southampton all lined up. Everyone's lined up on the penalty area box.
Brilliant.
Cross goes in, and Dawson's got on the end of it, loops it over the bar, hits the net, but right from the very top.
We heard some oohs and ahs coming from the stream, and that can only mean that Rio has joined us, because that was coming live by the sound of it from the London Olympic Stadium. Rio, can you hear us calling Rio?
I can. I've been equipped with some headphones. It's a miracle.
Lovely to have you on the stream, buddy. How's it going so far? How's it looking from your seat there in the where are you actually? I don't even know. What, are you in the east or the west side today?
I'm in the Bobby Lower as usual. I've been shifted over to the right a little bit. Everyone's seems quite chipper. It's a little bit weird. I've got to say, it's not a little bit weird. This is incredibly weird, to be honest. It's been taking a lot of getting used to being back.
Yeah.
I've also discovered that my game days might be at an end soon, because I'm getting up and down them steps, and my condition is a nightmare. I almost killed myself coming down 6 steps. It's a complete disaster.
Well, what do you make of the way we're playing so far? We seem to be under the cosh a bit, don't we?
Very much so. It's quite worrying. Southampton look fitter than us, a little more mentally strong than us.
Yeah.
Everything seems far too easy. When Southampton's sake, we're far too open. Another thing I noticed, like the gap between Ogbonna and Dawson, it's much bigger than it appears on TV. We've had like 15 months watching it on TV.
Yes.
The gap is just huge between our two centre backs, and it's frightening at times.
Yeah.
Also, we're looking a little bit tired, a little bit. We're getting their final third. We're lacking a lot of intensity and ideas at the moment, lacking imagination. So it's a bit of a worry, but early days yet.
Early days. So yes, we've also been joined by Pinky. We'll come to him just a second. Gnome, a big ooh coming from just a few seconds ago.
Thrown from the right, nodded on by Antonio. Fornell's got on the end of it. It was very high. Ball was very high when he took it. Couldn't keep it down. Volleyed over. But it's an effort on goal. We haven't had too many of those this half so far. So there you go. That was my ooh.
The team is back. Look, we're here. They couldn't stay away. We're not even half hour into the game, and the fearsome foursome are reunited because the Pink Palermo has joined us. Also, how you doing, buddy?
Yeah, I'm doing good, but I've got to say, hang on.
Well, I'm guessing the score.
Get in!
This is what the paper will pay for. This is what the paper will pay for.
The BBC can't give you this. Yeah.
By the way, guys, for the benefit of Rio and Pinky, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but Leicester are 1-0 up against Spurs as well. Vardy penalty.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Cheers.
For anybody watching on our stream, ball was played into Antonio, nodded through to Bowen. Lovely little flick. Got himself some space. Shot. McCarthy saved. Following up on the rebound and came off the defender. I think it's Walker Peters, but it's straight in from Fornells, who stuffs the ball under his shirt, suggesting that somebody he's aware of maybe.
How are you, Ireland? I'm delighted that Pablo Fornells has scored. He's been really quiet today, but right place at the right time. Lovely little setting.
What a time, gentlemen, to join the stream.
Absolutely. I'll be back in the second half with the second goal. Enjoy what you're watching. All right. Great finish from Fornells. Yeah. And it's like, this is a dry run for the championship. If you want to know what the stadium's going to look like with 10,000 in, this is it. And it's grim. Right, but West Ham 1, Southampton 0, and we're in Europe, Mr. Bridger. We're in Europe.
Happy days. Great to see you both. stick around if you like. I mean, if you want for a bit, Rio. But yeah, perfect timing there. West Ham taking the lead, the first ever live goal on Eyes Up Mother Brown. Yeah, scored by Pablo Fornals, and you know, Gnome, he's struggled a bit, hasn't he, in front of goal this season. We felt a little bit sorry for him, but he took that one well enough. Again,
it was one where he didn't have time to think about it. The ball came out to him and he ran onto it. Basically, he just hit it first time. I think it's Walker Peters is there. Yeah, Walker Peters is number 2. Sort of got tried to get a block in, but it wasn't enough to keep it out. It was straight in. So, yeah, sorry, they're just going around. Of course, this is something we're seeing on the telly a lot more at the moment, looking around the crowd, because it's such a novelty for them to have a crowd in. Nice ball down the left, cross comes in, and attempted clearance by Southampton there. And yes! It's 2. He's on fire. The man who can't finish a book. He's on fire.
Tremendous scenes. Rio, 2-0. And Rob, how are you doing, Rob?
Oh, you know, it's been such a disjointed first 25 minutes. We look all at sea going forward.
Yeah.
We joined the stream. And my boy Pablo's done it twice. So I'm delighted. I'm absolutely delighted for him. And I can rest a little bit easier now because I was worried that we was going to throw this one away, you know, lose that point, end up in the Europa Conference. But that was a quality move, quality ball in, another really tidy finish. What else can I say? This is just amazing, isn't it? You know?
Magic stuff. The cross coming in from the left from Lingard to the far post where it was brought down by Soufal. Soufal beat his man, chipping it back, or just pulling it back really to the penalty spot. Pablo Fornals, second goal in 3 minutes. West Ham 2-0 up. The live league table reads West Ham 65 points, Tottenham 59 points, Everton 59 points. Gentlemen, I think we may be on our way to Europe.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I'll do the maths later. You know what I'm like, Graham, ever cautious. I'll do the maths later.
Yes.
I'm willing to perhaps admit that we might be safe from relegation. I've read that somewhere. So let's not get ahead of ourselves, you know.
No,
don't tempt fate, please. Don't tempt fate.
Yes, yes, very much so.
No,
we should know better here, shouldn't we, gentlemen?
Yeah.
Leicester, of course, beating Tottenham 1-0. Everton 2-0 down at Man City. Sheffield United are actually winning. Goodness gracious, beating Burnley 1-0. Leeds 1-0 up against West Brom. Newcastle winning 1-0 at Fulham. Man United winning 1-0 up at Wolves, and it's goalless elsewhere, everywhere else in the Premier League. Ralph Husenhalter, we've just seen a close-up on the sidelines. Looks sick as a parrot, Gnome.
Yeah. Tough.
Tough luck. Tough luck.
Yeah, I mean, it seems an affable enough chap, but I mean, yeah, let's be fair. Those first 20 minutes or so, we didn't really look at the races, and then I mean, look at it now. I mean, Antonio's just come back to win a ball there, and yeah, since the goal, we've just looked a different team completely. Lingard now on the attack on the left, plays the ball back down to Lingard again, cuts inside. That's a shot. Rifles a shot in again. Just bounces just in front of McCarthy, but easy enough to deal with. But I was trying to get something up on the forum again. I'm getting this site can't be reached. I mean,
okay.
I've got ancient computer equipment here.
Rio, Nomi's stepping into your shoes today. He's doing the KUMB.com forum, and it's all going horribly wrong so far. So
good luck, mate. Good luck. It can be tricky at times. I might have a duck off in a minute, chaps, because save battery for the second half. But
no worries.
You know,
well, I mean, sorry, Rio. I was just going to say, Dan Robinson says, I think Rio is the lucky charm. Joins the stream, and West Ham score 2 goals, keeping for the 90. We can't do that, of course. Rio has to go, but we will hope that he comes back a bit later on in the second half, or maybe at half time if you get a couple of minutes for a chat.
If I can get on half time, I will do. No worries.
All right, buddy. All right, enjoy the game. We'll catch up later. Cheers, matey.
No problem.
Cheers. So there it is, Rio and the Pink Palermo joining us on the live stream, and we scored 2 goals straight away.
Wow. Come again.
Yeah, let's take stock, I guess, really, Gnome. You know, as you said, we looked at sixes and sevens for the first 25 minutes, barely had an effort to go. And somewhere, Pablo, of all people, Pablo Fornals is on a hat-trick.
Yeah, I think Southampton will be, if you've got their Saints web thing up, when you look at that, I think Redmond's going to be coming in for pelters on that. When the ball was played across from the right-hand side, I suppose you could call it an attempt at clearance, with just a lazy swing of the foot at it, and that basically set Soufal up to get the cross in. It was lazy. It was very poor defending from him.
I can tell you that on Saints Web, they were ripping into Redmond before, while it was 0-0. DT saying that, how does he still start? Is Ralph blind to how utter beep he is? I can't say that. And Ottawa Saints saying, careful, the forum experts say Redmond is great. And then, of course, West Ham has scored twice since. So Redmond, such a dumb of a footballer, sooner read the better. So McCarthy also getting a lot of stick. This is all before we scored. McCarthy's bloody useless. Why is McCarthy starting? Honestly, the same every week. I haven't even got to the bit where we score goals, so that should be quite enlightening. But take a deep breath. Yeah.
As I say, a couple of stats came up there. 8 attempts from Southampton, 7 for us now. Tellingly, 4 from us on target, only 2 for Southampton. As I say, I mean, they say goals change matches. Well, goals have just changed it completely. And Southampton just played the ball straight out into touch. And that's a bit optimistic, though, for Antonio. Antonio did very well there to keep the ball from going for a goal kick. It's now throw into Southampton deep in the right-hand side corner for us. So I see we've got the forum up.
Okay.
Give me a chance to have a quick look at it, because so far all the ones I'm looking at are saying goal, goal.
All right. Well, while you're doing that, while you're finding some informative and interesting content, I can tell you that Liverpool have scored. Mane in the 35th minute to go 1-up against Crystal Palace. So it looks like Liverpool are going to be good for that 4th Champions League spot, despite Leicester currently beating Tottenham at 1-0. Up to Joe. Southampton have conceded more away goals in 2021 than they have in any other season in the Premier League. 42 so far, apparently. That's an awful lot of goals to concede away from home in 18 games. But Gnome's on the forum for us.
Yeah, another shot first. Throw in again, flicked on. Bowen again got into good position. Space to get in the shot, straight at McCarthy, though. I'm guessing the news of... I'm guessing Pablo Fornals' missus is expecting something I was previously unaware of, because John G86 says Pablo Fornals needs to get his missus knocked up more often. Well, you can only do it once every 9 months or so. I mean, so I'm told. That's not knock. Pablo Fornals, you're a beautiful, beautiful man. Okay. It's lots of that sort of emoticon emoji thing with the little man waving his scarf up and down is there.
I love that.
Yeah, that's all over the place. Stick that all the naysayers about him from Mumbles 87, and the Spanish sensation is on fire. I mean, again though, both goals, he didn't think about them. Both goals, first time shot. I think it's when he's got time to sort of size up a shot. Or so.
That was always Carlton Cole's problem, wasn't it? You always thought instinctively he was a decent goal scorer, but if he had time to size up the target, it would all go horrendously wrong. Gylfi Sigurdsson has had a penalty for Everton at Man City, and he's missed it. Man City stay 2-0 up. It's not relevant to us anymore, of course, but as things stand, interestingly, Chelsea would miss out on a Champions League place.
I've got some less interesting news, less great news. It's looking, Kane's got probably one of these last goals for Spurs, so that's 1-1 there. So yeah, that's yeah, it's not great news because nobody likes to see that sort of thing, do they? But at the end of the day, keep this up, won't matter.
Wolves have equalised at home to Manchester United. Elsewhere, Nelson Semedo scoring in Nuno's last game as Wolves manager, of course. So a few more goals coming in. Kane, in the 40th minute there, equalising for Tottenham at Leicester. I'm not sure how that leaves the live league table. I assume that means Chelsea are back in with a Champions League spot, but not our concern anymore. Yeah. West Ham 2-0 up.
The full run of the latest scores coming through now, so I'll go through those. Arsenal 0, Brighton 0, Villa 0, Chelsea 0, Fulham 0, Newcastle 1, Leeds 2, West Brom 0, Leicester 1, Tottenham 1, Liverpool 1, Crystal Palace 0, Manchester City 2, Everton 0, Sheffield United 1, Burnley 0, Wolves 1, Manchester United 1. So we're all up to date with those now. Let's have a look. Yeah, I mean, as I say, very slow computer. I'm still catching up on the forum here a little bit, but
okay, no worries.
Basically, everybody's saying, like, yeah, everybody's saying what a great player was Fornals is, and how the naysayers, you know, what are they saying now, sort of thing, and of course, nobody's admitting to have been a naysayer in the past. So.
Yes. Had an interesting season, isn't he? Lots of criticism from certain quarters. Billy Dino, and you know, he does struggle in front of goal, but the work rate is absolutely incredible. I can tell you that the abuse for Redmond and McCarthy, in particular on Saints Web, is going into overdrive. Sheaf Saint saying same old, lots of the ball in the attacking third, but unable to do anything useful with it. Then let the opposition score with their first meaningful attack. McCarthy should be holding that. He's been useless recently. What have you got on KUMB?
Danny Dyer's acting has come in with a useful bit of admin. Which is basically the dates of the 6 matches in the group stage of the Europa League. So,
like it.
A long ball's played out left to Redmond, who fails to keep it in. That's not really his fault. That was a terrible ball, but he was never going to keep that in. Yeah, Bubbles 1966, harking back to 1 or 2 other games this season. If we excuse me. Sorry, if we score another one, we really are in trouble. Now, Redmond's going down the left triangle, obviously, to make up for this. Right? Doesn't get the cross in, though. Cross is blocked by Rice. And throw into Southampton deep, down, about 10 yards from the goal line, and on their left, our right.
I should say that the 3-0 theme is common, also on YouTube. Chris Snelling saying that my heart will stop if we go 3-0 up again, and Aaron saying, I just hope we don't get to 3-0 and then start collapsing. So I think, judging by the responses, everyone would be quite happy if it stayed like this and we didn't extend our lead even further.
Indeed, yeah. I mean, you'll gather from the fact that we've been talking about forums and stuff like that since the second goal's gone in, there's been little patterns of the game, really. Southampton, this is the first time really since the second goal that they've had any sort of attack. Oh, that's a great tackle. That's Dawson was magnificent there. The interception that I think Minamino might have been played in there, and he got the foot in to block it and then was fouled as he took the ball away. Excellent defender. That's the Dawson we had when he first started playing for us.
Yeah.
I think Southampton was his debut, wasn't it? Southampton away.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's right. I can't remember who it was where he almost decapitated somebody, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, of course. He was, unused, wasn't he, for a great. In fact, I think we'd nearly all forgotten that we'd signed him in the end of the transfer window before he came in, and absolutely magnificent, wasn't he? In that first half dozen or so games, and had a little bit of a difficult spell recently, the sending off, and a couple of mistakes, but a really good season, I think it's fair to say. Given especially all the pelters that he was being given by Watford fans before he moved here.
Yeah. Well, Minamino's just had a little bit of a dig at Oh, that's half time. I'm just wondering why it stopped play there for a second. 1 minute of stoppage added. But Minamino just had his toys out the window at referee Atkinson, just being sort of hustled out of the ball. Nothing particularly dodgy, but he didn't like it. We didn't get out of the way of him. That was basically it. So, yes, half time, West Ham United 2, Southampton 0. It's a bit of an odd game so far. As I say, we did start well, and Southampton had a couple of good chances. And we started to sort of grow into it a little bit. The 2 goals in not very many minutes just really sort of settled us down. And although it's not been sort of a constant bombardment of Southampton goal, we've looked very comfortable since the second goal went in. I think the first goal may have taken the wind out of Southampton's sails, and the second goal for a little while almost torpedoed the rest of the boat. So to get a nautical metaphor in there for Southampton being a maritime place.
Very good, very good. Like it.
Yeah. Oh, that came off the cuff. I didn't write that one down. You can tell me, I know. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's have a quick recap of the first half. Then, sorry, I'm just posting my messages out on social media, inviting people to come and join us for our halftime discussion. We might be joined by Pinky and or Rio at some point. Of course, if you missed that in the first half, they joined us about 60 seconds or so before Pablo Fornal scored 2 goals in 3 minutes. But let's just go back to that. West Ham really struggled, didn't we, in the first 25 minutes or so? Rain's absolutely belting down here. Sounds like the roof's going to come in. And then really against the run of play, Jared Bowen shot Gnome was tipped aside by McCarthy. And Fornal, so often criticised for his finishing, followed up and slammed it in the net to give us the lead.
Yeah, good finish. Harping on the same thing, but good finish, first time finish, as it needed to be. The defender tried to get block in, but wasn't keeping that one out. And lots of very, very jubilant scenes amongst the players. I mean, it's been often said this season, probably one of the best team spirits in a squad that we've had for quite some time. Fornal's, some of the things he was saying the other night about after we'd won, and you can tell he feels right at home there, can't you? So 1-0 up. Just as Rio and Pinky had arrived.
That's spooky, isn't it? Speak of the devil. And then, of course, a couple of minutes later, we went 2-0 up. Pinky still on the stream with Rio, our good omens this afternoon. And I'll send this one over to Pinky as he's joined us. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you back again.
Good afternoon all. And, 2-0 up, job done here, really. I mean, Saints really ain't at the races today. We've not been great, but two good goals by Fornals, and I think there's more to come. I think this is a 4-0 nailed on all afternoon, and we are all over Europe. Be no doubt about it. We're there.
I've got to say, Pinky, just looking at the comments we're seeing on the forum and on the stream, people are kind of quite worried about West Ham scoring a third goal, given what's happened in recent weeks. They'd rather it stay 2-0 than go to 3.
Yeah, I can understand that, but trust me, when there's only 10,000 here, and it's like, never mind, pick your own seat, it's pick your own row, or pick your own block. You need something to keep your mind from drifting away from the Meccano set stadium that somehow the world's greatest football club has found itself in. You know, it's just unbelievable. This afternoon we sat up in block 205, and all I can see when I look immediately below me is acres and acres of, it can only be described as Lego or Meccano. This is an awful, awful stadium to watch football in. And if the owners have got any sense at all, they'd be phoning up whoever they've done the deal with and saying, we're really sorry, we got it wrong. GSP out. Yeah, there you go. You see, you can hear people in here going, and this is in the posh seats saying GSP out. But, you know, I mean, it really takes the gloss off a great afternoon here for us. It's great to see supporters back and what have you, but it is a solitary reminder that we are in an awful place to watch games of football. And dare I say it, I'm envious of you guys at home, because this isn't football. I'm so far back, I cannot hear the thud of the ball. I cannot identify the players that easily. This isn't football. This is shameful. That's what it is.
There you go. West Ham are winning as well. Imagine how bad it would be if we were losing. Rio, good to see you back with us, buddy. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm not so bad, thanks.
Good. Did you manage to get yourself a half-time pint?
No. I had a couple of cans for the game. That's me done for a minute. It just feels weird. Me and my boy have just been saying it feels like we shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
It's just completely without atmosphere. I've just heard the end of Pinky's little tirade, and I ain't going to disagree with him because it's completely spot on.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
As an atmosphere, being in this ground, I was desperate to come back, but it just feels so alien at the moment. And as I said, it feels like we shouldn't be here. It feels like, there's 10,000 people in this stadium. And it just feels so, despite the fact everyone's been chopping on a bit to get back in here and get back to see us, and after such a fabulous season that they've had.
Yeah, it's
just the strangest atmosphere ever. I thought everyone would be up for it and bounce around, and the noise would be cacophonous, despite the sort of volume of people. But it's still kind of sterile still, and it just feels weird, very weird.
That's odd. Pinky, how did you find the journey in today? And also, I understand they put the price of a pint up. Pinky, that's it. I was saying, how did you find the journey in today compared to your usual route? And I also understand they've put the price of a pint up. I think we've lost Pinky now, so I'll put that one over to Rio. Rio, how was
the beer's gone up 30 to the club? And I'm going to be fair at the club here. They've tried very hard to get as many spectators in this afternoon as they can.
Yeah.
They've got 10,000 of us in here this afternoon. And it is a huge logistical exercise for the club to get people in here. There's a lot of extra admin to comply with government regulations. And fair play to West Ham. At least 10,000 West Ham United supporters get to see a live game of football today. And for that much, I will actually applaud the club. But heavens above, it's a real palaver. And dare I say it, begs the question, what we're going to do next season, because I just can't see 60,000 people pouring in here with the amount of grief that's going on.
Yeah.
And at what point will they make the decision, all those season tickets have sold, are they going to be valid, or are they just going to be lottery tickets? Very difficult.
Of course, that remains to be seen. I'm sure they'll figure that out in the coming weeks. Gnome, have you got any questions you wanted to fire at the boys?
I was just going to give them a bit of information, actually. Tottenham have equalised up at Leicester. Harry Kane netting what may will be his last goal for them. But it's covered some of the stuff. Getting in presumably took about half the time it usually does. Getting through the queues. Yeah, so Rio and Pinky are both muted if you're talking, guys.
Yeah, getting through the queues is an absolute bottle. It's the smoothest it's ever been, to be honest. One little thing, because my son bought a rucksack for the clothes, and that was frowned upon. Apparently, you can't bring anything bigger than an A4 piece of paper into the stadium at the moment. But apart from that, the queues from the bridge that I don't normally come in, but have ventured once in a while, which take half an hour, sailed through. Everything's been smooth as anything in terms of administration, checks. It's been far better than it has been like normally. I can't fault that. As Pinky said, getting this actual game on and getting the supporters into the ground has been a dream. It's just the environment itself. It's.
Are there anything COVID related on the checks? Temperature checks or anything?
No, not at all. I mean, they did say that in the terms and conditions that you'd have to have temperature checked. But had to show our photo ID and our tickets via our phones. Apart from that, no, absolute doddle. You know, I can't fault the staff at the moment. Yeah.
Okay, good stuff. Good stuff. Gentlemen, now you're with us. I mean, we're going to have to do this slightly differently because we're halfway through the game. But Pinky, let me come to you first. What's your prediction for the final score here today?
4-0 West Ham. I think we've got more goals in us here this afternoon. I think we're all over Saints now. I think they'll go down like a sack of spuds. I really do. And I think it's going to be a comfortable West Ham win.
Okay, thank you. Rio, what about yourself? More goals coming?
Oh, there's definitely more goals in this game. I'd actually go 3-1 though. I think we'll get our third, and we'll just coast for the rest of it and concede the late goal because the gap between Ogbonna and Dawson will be exploited eventually.
Okay, good stuff. Just looking ahead towards the final few minutes, Pinky. You know, we've got the youngster on the bench again, Odebeko. Do you think it might be an opportunity if it stays 2-0 or if we extend our lead even further to give him a run out for the last 10 or 15 minutes, or do you not see Moyes, being that sort of adventurous?
I'm hoping that in the last 15, 20 minutes, we'll see Maximus Noble come on, run out in front of the home support. Thoroughly deserves it. And, what a way to finish his career. Come out in front of West Ham fans, qualifying for Europe. I know he's got the extra season, but I'm hoping the manager sticks on, Mark Noble. Just give him a quarter of an hour.
Good stuff. Rio, were you surprised to see Ben Rama drop this afternoon and Bowen brought back into the team?
Not at all, to be honest. I think with Ben Rama, you just don't know what you're going to get on that day. We've said it time and time again. The ability is there in abundance. It's the mentality, the work rate. And Jared Bowen offers, it's probably a safer option, isn't it? Because you're going to get non-stop energy, non-stop work rate. Okay, so the final product might not be as polished. He might not have those little extra touches and skills that Ben Rama does. But for a game where you have to secure a point, Bowen was the safer option. And he's done incredibly well all season again. So, I wasn't surprised at all.
Tweet from Fake Carlton, who, of course, has been a celebrity on Twitter over the years. Talking about the goals, Fake Carlton says, Pablo Fornal celebrated his goal by putting the ball up to his stomach for his girlfriend who is pregnant. He then proceeded in taking the ball out and smashing it away. I worry about Pablo's parenting techniques. Which I liked. Gnome, second half coming up very, very soon. Do you think there'll be more goals in this one, or do you think it'll be a nervy, West Ham?
I'm with Rio. I think 3-1 is a likely score. We just need to be very, very tight for 10 minutes in the second half and make sure we go let's not just think anything silly at the start of the game. We have on occasion been notoriously bad start. So, that's what I've been looking for. Quite an interesting perspective on position. Should we think where we are at the moment? And it's from Cross Hammers, who said, normally I'd be happy with Chelsea or Liverpool missing out on Champions League. Yeah. And after that Super League shenanigans, it would seem even more just. But if fifth place will be our rivals in the Europa League next season, maybe we'd be better off with Leicester finishing there. Providing we hold on for a draw, so hedging the bets there, Spurs could be doing us a favour. So I think it's the case, though. You can't base the team from your same country until the knockout stages.
Right.
So, that would be a long way in the future, depending on how who we end up with, etc. So, teams will be able to come out anyway. They're on the pitch at the moment.
Okay.
4 nails, bubbles in the. Just seeing. Can't spot any changes for either side at the moment. Yeah, sorry, no changes as far as I can see anyway.
Okay,
And,
I'm
referees-
hearing bubbles come over the ether via Rio's connection, which is a nice sound. I haven't heard that for a while, have we?
No,
it's
it's
a nice-
lovely. I'll have to jump off again then, mate. It's obviously battery issue and all that. So I'll
No
try and jump
worries.
on a bit later.
All right, we'll catch you later. Enjoy the second half.
Cheers,
Well
mate.
Cheers,
See you
Rio.
later.
So there it is. Rio and
We're underway.
we're underway.
Yeah,
There
we're
you go.
underway. And ball played long from the back towards Souček, and obviously kind of wins. They had the flags up, so Souček came back. We're 13, 14, 15 seconds into the game in the second half. So that's to give you a time check.
I think I seem to be catching up. Hopefully, by the time we get to the end, I might be within about 5 seconds of you. I'm about 15 seconds behind now. I'm on 45 and 13, so I'm not so far behind. Yeah. But there you go. Great to hear from the Pink Palermo and Rio live and direct from the London Olympic Stadium. Thoroughly enjoying being back, as you heard, even though the experience, as the boys said, was a little bit unusual, being such a vast stadium with only 10,000 fans present.
Well, Southampton came on the attack. Ball got pulled back to the edge of the box. Shot came in, blocked. It's been cleared. Now we're on the attack with Lingard out on the left wing. Plays it down the line to Fornals. Flips the ball back across to Antonio, who's a bit crowded out. Lingard then has got Rice. Rice is played it out wide to Soufal, crosses it in, not cleared very well. And Souček comes in, mishits a shot. And Lingard has a pop, mishits a shot, and Southampton bring it away. So good little bit of possession there, but not quite good enough in that final third there. And Southampton can bring it away now, and they're just building up just inside our half, 10 yards or so inside our half. There was a nice ball inside to Minamino for that, where Southampton had the shot, and he pulled it back to the edge of the box. But again, it was a bit of blocking needed and went on. There's a Southampton attack, just flounders at Cresswell. And ball played up to Antonio, tries to lay it off, but his Bednarek just comes through him at the back. And in fact, Bednarek's getting a yellow for that. Let's have a look, see the replay of that. Fornals plays it up to Antonio. Antonio plays, and he's just stamped on.
It's Achilles, isn't it? Straight through the back.
He's just stamped on the top of his foot. Yellow card. Painful one, even with these, even with proper football boots on, you'd have felt that. These things they wear, sort of paper thin these days.
Oh yeah. Well, I must say, from long distance, it looked as if he'd gone through the back of him. But you're absolutely right; it's stamped on top of the foot, and nasty one. That, very nasty, and the first yellow card of the game, in fact.
Indeed, yeah. And long ball played out to Soufal, does well to keep it in. Gets the cross only gets to McCarthy. Did well get anything on that at all, really. He's now got to get back, of course. And Minamino tries to go forwards, and Rice has got a tackle in there. Thought it had come off Minamino, so did just about every player on the pitch, but Atkinson gave the lino the signal that he's given the throw to Southampton. So
now, this is interesting. Not nothing to do with West Ham. Well, I suppose it is to some degree, but Arsenal have scored against Brighton, and that means that if there are no further goals this afternoon, Arsenal would finish above Tottenham and send Tottenham down to 8th in the table. So there was a comment, wasn't there, posted on the YouTube chat? Who put it? Oh, Medellin Hammer said that from the Fighting Cock, which is the Spurs forum, someone saying West Ham winning, Everton losing. As expected, it's all down to whether Woolwich beat Brighton for 7th or 8th. The excitement, that was before Arsenal scored. So the live league table, Arsenal, who've had an absolute dreadful season. Nicolas Pepe scoring the opening goal against Brighton, and they are, as things stand, above Tottenham in the league. It's so far known, it couldn't really be going any better. So I'm waiting for it to all go horrendously wrong, but this is like a dream so far, the way everything's going.
Well, Antonio's off the side. He's changing his boots actually, possibly. Well, he's still limping. He's sort of limping on the pitch, and I think he'll be a bit disgusted because he's putting his gloves back on, or one glove back on. So that's a Mexico 1968 Olympic thing. One black glove, I think. So one for the kids there. Yeah, maybe the boots he's put on are a little bit tougher. He's just swapped a friendly sort of fist bump with Bednarek, so there's no hard feelings there. And Southampton now trying to push forward. Armstrong basically robbed from behind. Excellent tackle. Not a great ball, but Bowen's done well to bring that out and plays it out wide to Soufal. That's good work from Bowen there. And we've now got Lingard out the right wing at the moment, looking up for some help, and Souček's there. And we've now got Soufal out there, plays the ball nearly down the line to Souček. And she's playing left back for Southampton there, but they've just blocked it there. So throw in to West Ham. And Soufal and Lingard trying to work it quickly down the line, but it's blocked, and Southampton can bring it away. Now, long through ball played, and oh blimey, what we're doing here. There was Ogbonna and Cresswell were basically it looked like it was easy to deal with, and Fabianski came out of his goal, and we made a bit of a mess of that. And ball eventually sort of came in, getting crossed from the left, and Minamino put a cross come shot. It was goal bound, and Fabianski's just tipped it over. Not good defending there between the central defence and the goalkeeper. It was a bit not what we want.
No, I'm trying to. You don't normally see that from Fabianski, do you? He's not the kind of keeper that plays that sweeper goalkeeper role on the edge of the box.
He just made a great save from the corner. They tried to keep it live. Cross played out. Oh, lovely block. Great block there from Soufal. And West Ham can attack now. Lingard cynically brought down. That'll be a yellow, surely. Diallo. It was. Let's have a look. Yeah, no. He's just hold him down. I think Atkinson's not gonna. That should have been a yellow. Looking at the corner again, it headed across goal.
Bit of a theatrical dive, that one, wasn't it, from Fabianski?
Didn't go very far. Ball was played back in the middle, and we cleared it away. But good to know we got some saves going when we need them. 4 nails now on the left. West Ham on the attack. Plays it outside to Cresswell. Gets the cross in. Blocked there by Walker Peters. Corner to West Ham. Is it time for the stat? Come on,
Sky.
Let's have it. One last time of the season. Come on, you know you want to. Dawson is having a wander up slowly. Quick quiet word with Soufal, who's is the one staying back. And I can hear on the commentary in the background, they've mentioned scoring from set pieces this season, very faintly there, but the stat hasn't been on screen. Cresswell takes the corner, out swinger to the edge of the box, edge of the 6-yard box, but cleared, and the clearance is completed by Minamino. Ball out for a throw-in on the West Ham right. So,
what I can tell you, Gnome, while we're just taking...
Hang on. Leicester have a penalty. Vardy scores. Leicester 2, Tottenham 1.
That's what I was going to tell you. That's what I was just going to tell you. Leicester are in front. Davinson Sanchez pulling down Jamie Vardy, and Vardy rolling home his second penalty of the day, and it's all going wrong for Tottenham. With Arsenal winning against Brighton, Tottenham now down to 8th in the Premier League as things stand, and not looking good for Spurs. The fighting cock's going to be it's going to be fun tonight. But enough of them anyway. West Ham leading 2-0 here against Southampton, and not a brilliant performance so far, but perfunctory, and it's. We're doing okay so far. I mean, it's been a fairly better start, really, you'd say, to the second half than we began the first anyway.
Tighter, although there was that silly little so just looking at a free kick. Yeah, Redmond beats Soucek, and Soufal comes in from the side and puts Redmond down. So we've got about 37, 38 yards maybe outside, and Ward-Prowse will be the one to deliver this in as ever.
Okay, well, while we're waiting for that,
slightly
Gnome, let me just, this is interesting. Villa have taken the lead against Chelsea.
Oh.
So it's in terms of the Champions League places, it could be changing again. Back to the free kick.
Free kick was clipped in by Ward-Prowse, and that was who that was on the end of it. Yeah, that was Vestergaard got on the end of the free kick. His header was kind of up and looped over the top, landed on top of the net. Nothing to really worry about, but decent delivery as ever from Ward-Prowse, as much as one might expect from him. So 55 minutes played, still West Ham United 2, Southampton 0. And
as it stands elsewhere in the North London battle, Tottenham will not be in Europe next season if the scores remain as they are. It will be Arsenal.
It's a money-saving exercise because they were going to get fined by UEFA 5% of their European prize money. Of course, 5% of nothing is nothing. So it's quite clever of them. It saved themselves some money there.
Elsewhere, Villa have scored again against Chelsea. So Villa leading Chelsea 2-0 now. So looks like Chelsea might be missing out on the Champions League and Tottenham missing out on Europe altogether, with West Ham about to finish in the top 6, it seems, and grab a Europa League place. It's pretty much, one of those Carlsberg Super Sundays, isn't it? Going absolutely perfectly.
Bowen's just done his fullback. Just ran out of time, space, and Vestergaard sort of came in. Oh, good block there from Soucek, and McCarthy was alert to come out to the edge of the box to snuff out any trouble. Yeah, good work from Bowen originally there, but then just ran into traffic and tried to get it down to the byline, but as I say, Vestergaard came across and snuffed out that one. So, but there's more of that from Bowen we'd like to see. He's had little sort of 2 or 3 minute spells where he's looked interesting, and he's just stuck a leg out, and I thought that was a throw-in, but I think it's been given as a free kick. But weren't there, ref? Anyway, played it back. So, yeah. So,
well, look, here's a lovely stat tweet, whatever, from Richard Jolly of The Guardian. Jamie Vardy scored twice against a team, Tottenham, managed by Ryan Mason, who's 4 years younger than him. If the same were to happen to Roy Hodgson today, then Crystal Palace would concede twice to Terry Venables.
How
about that?
First change, by the way. We mentioned earlier on briefly Romeo, who's been out for a while and was on the bench. He's currently being given instructions, so interested to see who he replaces. Bit scrappy at the moment. Nobody really sort of keeping the ball in very much, and it's a bit of head tennis. Bring the ball down, and Rice manages to head it down to Fornals, and it's back on the floor. Nearly a good ball from Rice. Just took a deflection. That might see Cresswell in. Now Minamau's run 40, 50 yards here with the ball. Sorry, not Minamau. That's sorry, that was that's Walker Peters actually brought it out from the back. But it's sort of kind of floundered. It looks a promising break there, but it's back now halfway in the West Ham half, and they're playing it across the pitch.
Goal news from elsewhere again. No, Manchester City 3. Everton 0. Phil Foden scoring the 3rd goal for City in the 53rd minute. So I think we can well and truly rule out Everton as a potential challenger for a top 6 spot. Down to us and Tottenham now, and all going well so far.
Yep, okay. Substitution being made now for Southampton, and that's Walker Peters, who that last 40, 50-yard run, obviously his swan song for the season. He's off and Romeo is on. So first change of the day. So yeah, I think it was always going to be a bit too much for Everton, wasn't it? A decent win. Oh, now ball played through, and Minamino has thrown himself to the floor, holding his arm, and as West Ham players walked past him and beckoned him to get up, definitely looked like a dive that he was going to get on the end of. Yeah, Cresswell shakes his head, just get up. Now he's holding his arm and giving it a bit of a squeeze, but I think he's all right. He's probably embarrassed more than anything else, I think. So
he likes a dive, this lad, doesn't he? I don't think he's quite up there in the Grealish or Salah stakes just yet, but he's certainly got difficult or poor. Likes going to ground anyway, it seems.
Anyway, we're getting all the scores now. Arsenal 2, Brighton 0, Villa 2, Chelsea 0, still Fulham 0, Newcastle 1, Leeds 2, West Bromwich Albion 0, Leicester 2, Tottenham 1, Liverpool 1, Crystal Palace 0, Manchester City 3, Everton 0, and still Sheffield United 1, Burnley 0, Wolves 1, Manchester United 2 now. Let's score there. So that's everything up to date from Sky. Ball played down the line to Antonio, who's down deep in the corner, wins a throw in, a couple of feet away from the corner flag, as let's see, Cresswell jogs over to take the throw in. So the as it stands table has come up, and
looks beautiful. Looks beautiful.
Yeah. So throw it to West Ham. Cresswell's looking for something to throw it to. Gets it back from Lingard. Nice turn, and nice play from Lingard. Gets it the box, doesn't quite get on the end of it. One of those plays it past one side of player and runs the other. But now ball again played down the line. That's going to go out though. Lingard won't be able to kick that in. So nice little bit of two bits of individual skill there. Both one from Cresswell, one from Lingard. Southampton about there make their second change, and Minamino will dive no more, and that could well be his last appearance for Southampton, of course. And Teller, youngster Nathan Teller, has come on, so another attacking sort of option there for them.
Do you think that's Husenhartel basically throwing the towel in, Gnome?
No, I think it's they've not looked particularly threatening. Teller is a promising youngster in their sort of ranks, and scored his first goal a couple of weeks ago for them. So I think he's thrown in the towel. We're 2-0 down. It's the end of the season. Let's stick on another striker or attacking player and see what we can get out of it.
Be nice to see Moisey follow, a similar pattern, and perhaps put Odebeko on for the last few minutes. But anyway, what I can tell you, actually, talking about the Premier League table as it stands, if Leeds were to score another 12 goals between now and the full-time whistle, they too would overtake Tottenham, and Spurs would be down to 10th in the table, as unlikely as it seems. But you never know. Stranger things have happened. Well, they probably haven't, actually. That would be pretty damn strange. But all going well. Hour gone. We're into the final third of the final game of the Premier League 2020-21 season. What a season it's been for West Ham, who it looks now, barring an absolute catastrophe or a miracle collapse, are going to finish as a top 6 club this season and qualify for the Europa League, and hopefully do better in Europe than the UK did last night in the Eurovision Song Contest, in which we went out without getting a single point. Nul point, of course.
Did Tottenham enter for us?
Well, the lad was from Southend, apparently, so it's not inconceivable that he could have been a Spurs fan, but you never know.
So we had some a bit of a promising situation there, but it kind of died a death there. I was about, so I won't mention it again. I'm just trying to catch up with the forum again. So I do apologise for the slowness of my computer. It just reminded me of the joke going around about Harry Maguire, where he's walking along and suddenly he turns around and he stamps on this snail. And somebody goes up to Maguire and says, "What'd you do that for?" He says, "Well, he's been following me around all day."
Very good. Very good.
Right. So, comment there from Pablo J. Well, hang on. No, I thought Bowen was going to nick that and hit the attack, but he didn't. Pablo J, wonderful to hear our fans on top form. Applauses of appreciation after good play for us. The European Tour song, Overland and Sea, Bubbles. Well done to everybody, and a clap. Long ball played down our right-hand side. It may have gone out, and no, it didn't. But couldn't get the crossing, couldn't keep it in, and my referee stops it, and I don't know if it's offside or it just went out for a goal kick. But now Ben Rama's on the sidelines. He's got his tracksuit trousers off, or his jog trousers or whatever they're called. Those are off at the moment. He's just got a sort of training top on over his shirt, so he's kind of ready to go as soon as any changes want to be made. So it looks like he might be the next one on. I'd suggest Bowen would be the one to come ashore if that's the case. And
I've got to say, he looked. How do I say this? He looked quite excited there about coming on the pitch very soon. If you get my drift, it was
right.
an interesting angle from the camera there.
I can't say that I noticed, but then I wasn't. I mean, I saw some of it. I wasn't one to watch the Eurovision Song Contest religiously last night, shall we say?
Amazing. You know, we always watch it in our house every year, and every year we end up, almost throwing stuff at the telly. But it didn't fail to live up to expectations last night. We were absolutely smashed to pieces, of course, didn't get any points.
Yeah.
The Italians won, and the French nearly won, of course, which would have been an absolute scandal had they done so. But anyway, we
yellow card alert. Bowen's beaten Diallo to the ball and taken it away. Diallo's just gone right across him and kicked him. So that's Diallo's third yellow card of the season, for what it's worth. Bowen's hobbling a little bit, and with Ben Rama sort of looking to warm up, shall we say. He's actually on the side now, so that might be Bowen's last piece of action. Bowen gets fouled an awful lot, as he brings the ball out. There's as somebody who does bring the ball out from defence, I guess he's the prime target for those cynical little fouls that break up the play.
Do you know what?
Towards Antonio, but it's bobbling around, and Southampton will bring it away again. It's got very scrappy, this game.
It's got nearly as scrappy as this stream today, has got to say.
Oh, now Teller's played a ball in there to I think it's Ings, isn't it? Ings, a beautiful turn, but basically it was good defending. Just looking at it now, lovely turn, but Ogbonna did very, very well. Just didn't get out of the way, and nice play from Ings, but clever defending from Ogbonna to make sure that there was nothing nothing doing with that.
I get the feeling if that was Salah in that situation, he would have just held himself straight to the deck. Yeah, so credit to Danny Ings, I suppose, at least for at least trying to do the right thing.
Antonio is being substituted to a standing ovation. As much to do, I think, with his season as anything he's done today, to be honest. But fair play. He's hobbling a little bit. He got that stamp on the foot, and he's clearly not 100%. So well played for the season, Antonio. Not the greatest of the game today, but that's as I say, the applause for that, the ovation for that is for his efforts over the season. And another what if we could have kept him fit.
10 goals this season for Antonio, one of two players to hit double figures, along with Thomas Souček, Jesse Lingard right behind on 9, Jared Bowen on 8 as we speak. So I think that's the first time in the Premier League possibly that two players have finished on double figures for West Ham. So pretty good stuff. But we're getting to the, we're only 20 minutes or so to go as things stand. West Ham are going to be finishing in the top 6. Arsenal are going to be finishing in 7th, and Tottenham are going to be finishing in 8th and out of Europe completely. Chelsea not qualifying for the Champions League as things stand. So still plenty of time for that to change, but all very, very interesting as things go. No, you know what hasn't happened today so far?
Well, hang on, just a second. Redmond's got in good position on their left, our right. Got a nice, basically Just to say, he's got Dawson in front of him. Curls across in around Dawson. That's great defending from Ogbonna. Clears that out, and I think it's a corner, but we've just see if the camera pulls back. Maybe not. And yeah, Antonio's having that foot looked at where he got the stamp on, and he's having that strapped up at the moment. That was the problem. That nasty little foul on him. Yeah, it was a goal kick actually. So it was very good defending from Ogbonna to stop Ings from getting in there because you know, he was doing that, getting across the front of the defender. Don't know if you saw any of the playoff matches yesterday. There were 3 or 4 goals where crosses came in, low crosses came in from either side, and the goal scorer basically benefited from just getting across his defender, getting there first. So, well, we're on it. Have we said congratulations to Hornchurch?
No, we haven't. No, we haven't.
Congratulations to Hornchurch. Who beat
FA Vase winners
in the trophy yesterday. Now, Rice, go for it, Soufal. Oh, he's done him. He's got it as well. Rice played a ball diagonally down the line, down towards the left-hand side. Soufal run the race to get it and just beat. That's what's his name? I can't remember his name now. Just beat there. So Soufal was fouled, and what's his name? What's his name?
Salisu,
yeah. So it's just one of those ones where Soufal just got there first, and Salisu basically just took Soufal out by arriving a fraction of a second later. But Salisu's come off worse. And insult or injury, he's been booked while he's on the floor while he's receiving treatment. So free kick on the right hand side eventually. When this is going to be a little while to it's going to take a little while to sort out because it looked quite painful. It's a yellow card for the foul. Sort of broke up the attack. I don't think it was one of those ones that was a deliberate attempt to kick anyone, but you know, it's if you arrive half a second late, that's one of those things that's going to happen. Soufal, of course, despite the one being fouled, is as hard as nails, and he's up walking around like nothing's happened. Whereas the defender that kicked him is regretting it, shall we say?
It's actually, you look at all 3 Southampton bookings: the Bednarek one on Antonio, the Diallo one on Bowen, and the Salisu one on Soufal. They're all pretty much the same challenge, aren't they?
I think the Bednarek one was a little bit nastier, I think, because that was a deliberate stamp. Whereas the other 2 were sort of, I'm either going to get the ball, but if I don't get the ball, you ain't getting any further, sort of thing. One of those ones. So Salisu's up and waiting to come on. He's out on the touchline. Oh, set piece goals stat is up.
Hey!
Season. West Ham 17.
73 minutes today. Not bad. Not bad.
So the ball comes in. Bowen plays the ball in. Oh, it's flashed across goal. Souček's a perm away from putting that away, and it's just flashed a foot wide of the far post there. Bonner was at the far post. Oh, really, Souček? You really perhaps ought to have got something on that. So still 2-0, and we've got 17 minutes or 16 and a half minutes left to play now. West Ham looking comfortable, it has to be said. Having said that, now Redmond goes and tries to play it past Souček. Souček blocks it, and it goes out for a Southampton corner. Southampton's left, our right. So.
Okay, well, let's stick with that for a minute, and then I'll come to what I was going to say just a few minutes ago, something we haven't seen yet in today's game, which has become a bit of a staple in West Ham's matches this season. Corner to Southampton.
Sorry, corner's played across. Minamino gets a header, but it's cleared. Benrahma tries to set Bowen away, but it's West Hampton got enough players back. and they've won the ball and they'll rebuild. Sorry, you're saying a staple this season. I missed the beginning of what you were saying, mate.
Yes, I was saying that there's something that's been missing so far from today's game, which we've seen so much of lately, and that we haven't hit the post yet today,
No,
which we seem to be doing with on an alarmingly regular basis this season. Of course, Rice hit the post with a penalty, and Cresswell with that astonishing free kick that almost crept in the other day, but nothing so far. So, yeah, there you go.
Unlucky Ben Rama there. He's put the Stalisu again under pressure, and Stalisu just about copes with it. But Ben Rama was snapping at his heels there and making it difficult for him. And just sort of wait to see if that's it. Oh. Well, it's been given a throw into Southampton, and just about everyone on the pitch is amazed by that. Suchek gives the linesman a word or two. Oh, he's given a free kick. Well, I'm sure I saw a foul there, but no, never mind. Anyway, Southampton can bring it away again, but they've not really looked dangerous or threatening at all in this second half, really. I think one effort that Fabianski saved. Having said that, Redmond's got himself in the book, pulls it back, and saved by Fabianski. The youngster Teller shoots from the edge of the box. Had direction, but not enough pace really to give any sort of problems for Fabianski. They did well. They did see it through a couple of players, and it was a comfortable save. But just as I said, they hadn't looked like scoring.
Well, funny enough, I was about to mention that it's been 10 games now since West Ham last kept a clean sheet, going right back to Monday, the 8th of March, when we beat Leeds 2-0. 10 matches, no clean sheets. Fortunately, that
finished with one, of course. Throw into West Ham. While we're doing that, they've got the latest score update. Arsenal 2, Brighton 0. Chelsea pull one back, 2-1, losing 2-1 at Villa. Fulham 0, Newcastle 1, Leeds 2, West Brom 0, Leicester 2, Tottenham 1, Liverpool 1, Palace 0, Man City 4, Everton 0, Sheffield United 1, Burnley 0, Wolves 1, Manchester United 2. So I think the Chelsea goals are the latest update to that.
Pull one back. Aguero scoring for Man City, possibly his last goal.
Last game for them
over there. But it's very, very interesting at Villa. I suppose that's where everyone's going to be looking now to see what happens with regards to that final Champions League place. But Everton getting absolutely smashed, and Tottenham need another goal, otherwise they're out of Europe and out of the top 7 and below Arsenal, which, given the season Arsenal have had, would be quite remarkable. But anyway, we're in the last. Where are we now? We're in the last 13 minutes to go. I'm missing a lot of the game today because there's only 2 of us.
Sorry about that. Rice did marvellously well. He was crowded out and still managed to get the ball through. We got the ball in the box. It got snuffed out. Southampton now trying to attack us. And Teller gets the ball forward, into the box, but Cresswell clears. Fornals is on the ball now and plays a lovely ball now. Then both Lingard and Bowen are there. Oh, he's played it across and Bowen's let it rush out. And the offside flag goes up anyway. That flag should have gone up half an hour ago, but lovely ball from Fornals, which, Fornals should have left that for Bowen because Bowen would have been onside. And then, Lingard should have left it for Bowen. Fornals played the ball up to Lingard. Lingard squared it, but it hit it too hard for Bowen to get on the end of, and then the flag went up. Whereas if that had been left for Bowen, he'd have been through one-on-one on goal, and he would have been onside. I'm sure of it. So, So wrong person got the ball.
Liverpool double their lead against Crystal Palace. Looks like that's Champions League for sure for the Merseysiders. Mane scoring again. Now there's been another goal at the King Power Stadium. Who's it gone to? It's gone to Tottenham. Kasper Schmeichel with an own goal. And Leicester 2-0 up, now 2-2. So Tottenham back in it. Need one more goal to actually does that. I think that puts them. Does that put them above Arsenal now? I'm just checking. No, Arsenal will still finish above them. Tottenham have to win if Arsenal win.
We just survived the scare. Ball played in to Redmond on their left, who cut in, tried to beat Fabianski at near post, hit the side netting. So bit of a flurry there, but I think, well, had it been on target, it was covered. So, yeah, interesting. Leicester were 2-1 up, not 2-0 up. Great.
Yes, of course they were. Yeah.
Of
course.
Who cares? Now, again, scrappy second half this has been. Ball played down now. Teller's one-on-one with Fabianski, puts the ball away, but I think that flags, that's one where the flag should have got up. He was a mile offside the second the ball was played. You know, it was, we went through the rigmarole of letting him put the ball into the net, and then
decent finish.
Yeah, he's it's daylight. It's not a close one. No need for grid lines there. Good finish, mind. Well, I'd say good finish. Dawson came across and it kind of flicked off him a bit, but it's one of those ones.
Offside. He's miles offside.
Yeah. It would infuriate you as a crowd, because you're going to see the ball go in, and you're going to start shouting abuse, and then you're going to see the flag up. Yeah.
Aguero has doubled his tally for the day. He's scored again for Man City. They're now leading Everton by 5 goals to 0. Up at the
so Everton have to get 20-something now, do they? Well, we're seeing
you never know.
Warming up here, by the way, getting themselves ready. One of whom looked to be Mark Noble, I think. One for Southampton. I didn't see who that was, but we're playing this out comfortably without really even breaking sweat. Really, I mean, still giving the ball away a little bit too much, like there from Ben Rama, tried to flick the ball through to a teammate who actually wasn't there. 9 minutes left here, by the way. I've not really been keeping up with the time. And Southampton again tried to play a through ball, but it's blocked again and comes back towards the halfway line. For all this sort of huffing and puffing, 9 minutes. With 9 minutes left, if they don't score now, I don't think they will do. Rice just mugs whoever that was on the ball for Southampton. We lose it again, but that's just typical Rice. Players sort of looking to play the ball. Suddenly Rice is all over him, comes away with the ball. Marvellous play from Rice. Now, cross comes into the centre of the box, but again, it's easily dealt with. It's kind of like watching attack versus defence, where defence want a nice, easy last half hour of training.
Yeah, that I should just going back to the other games. That goal for Tottenham means that Chelsea are back into 4th place, despite being behind at Villa. So interesting stuff there. But I'm just thinking, Mark Noble.
Lingard's had a good run, plays ball to Ben Rama. That's a ball, but Ben Rama comes away with the ball. He's in the box and he shoots and side netting. It's that old thing we've said about Ben Rama decision making. There were players in the box. Good run from Lingard. Poor ball to Ben Rama, but bad defending. And there's Bowen sort of doing the hands in front of him there. That should have been 3. Changed for Southampton. Ings is off. And Michael Obafemi, who's been out for a long, long while, I think he's only played 2 or 3 games this season, comes on to replace him. He scored against us last season, I think, at the Olympic there. So, and Mark Noble is just about to come on, and Sue is replacing. And it's Bowen. Bowen's off, and Noble's on. So we'll just put a bit more sort of solidity in there. I think it's, let's see the last 6 minutes out. Rice hands in the captain's armband, and there we go. So
standing ovation for Noble as he comes on there. for the Hammers for it's not his farewell performance. He's got another year, of course, but kind of takes me back. Do you remember the situation with Steve Potts all those years ago when he was waiting to make his 400th first team appearance, and Glenn Roeder steadfastly refused to put him on as a sub,
wasn't he, or something? That was hang on a second. Now we got Lingard bearing down on goal, and good last ditch tackle from Vestergaard there. If he got past that, he was clean through on the keeper. I think that was one of the rare games I brought my dad to. In fact, that might have been one of those the first time we all met up in the Green Man. Were you there for that one? There's a famous photograph of us all that I've got somewhere.
Yeah, I remember it well.
I think that was that day. Hang on, though. Rice is now bearing into the box. He's bearing it the box. Rice scores. Declan Rice. I was going to say captain's goal, but
just relinquished the armband.
Gone, but
yeah,
brilliant.
Is that dodgy scoreline again, Gnome? 3-0.
Yeah, a bit worried now.
It's a lovely finish though. Sort of showed the keeper to the far corner and pulled it inside the near post. That's game over. That's West Ham in Europe. Aaron was just asking that we get 6 even if we lose, but of course, that was assuming that Tottenham don't win. If Tottenham were to score another goal at Leicester and West Ham were to lose, we wouldn't. But it's unlikely now. I think known that Southampton are going to score 4 goals in the last 4 minutes plus whatever's added on.
Yeah, I mean, the goal basically, attack broke down, but Fornals got the loose ball, chipped it up over the fullback, and it was just Rice was just then looked across, see if anyone was coming with him. Thought no, nobody was. So you'd expect him to go curl it past McCarthy on the far post, but he actually went near. Not quite sure what the celebration is. You, maybe the youngsters will know that one, but. 3-0 West Ham. It's been that comfortable after the first 20 minutes. It really has, really. So, nice way to finish off the season for Declan, who's had an absolutely marvellous season. And,
Yes, I think all our fears can be laid to rest now. 87 minutes gone, 3-0 up, Tottenham only drawing. That surely is it for West Ham. Also, let's not forget Pablo Fornal's assist there. So what a game he's having! 2 goals and an assist in the final game of the season. I don't think there's going to be much challenge as man of the match when we look at that after the game. But West Ham coasting into Europe now. You can get your passports ready, boys and girls. It looks like we're going back to the Europa League. For next season. West Ham top 6 club once again. The fans are partying. The players have got smiles on their faces. Fans back in the ground, of course, for the first time since last year. Perfect day, really, isn't it?
Yeah, not quite perfect day. I'd be there if it were.
True.
True. But yeah, I mean, it's been wonderful. It's been a wonderful season. We can't really complain about the season at all. We can do all the what ifs and all that, but if you've adopted the Gnome principle after every game, let's just see where we are at the end of each game. And 6. I mean, some people may be disappointed that it's not top 4, but where have we come from? Think about that. And 6. We probably sat here the end of last season thinking, well, now then, now we're just getting a goal from Tottenham Leicester. It looks like Tottenham have actually gone through. Yeah, Gareth Bale has scored for Tottenham. So that makes us 3-2, isn't it, Tottenham?
It does. Puts them back into the Conference League as things stand. Oh, well, it'll give them something to chirp about if they finish above Arsenal, I suppose. I mean, I'll just say that 6 is a marvellous achievement, particularly with a paper-thin squad. And, it's been, we've seen some good football as well at times. It's not been the sort of stuff we might have feared
years ago when Moyes first joined us.
Yeah.
You know, there's been some cracking football. We've seen some great goals, and I'm, you know, I'm sort of, I'm pleased.
Yeah, can't be bad at all. There's a few more goals actually gone in, as well as that one at the King Power that effectively ends Leicester's hopes of a Champions League spot. Chelsea, very, very lucky, of course, to be qualifying. Looks like they're going to. They're 2-1 down at Aston Villa. Goals, Newcastle have scored a second at Fulham. They lead 2-0. And just looking down, the Leeds have got a third against West Brom. They lead 3-0 against Albion. Man City still 5-0 up against Everton. Tottenham now, of course, 3-2 up at Leicester, coming from 2-1 behind to snatch a Conference League spot by the looks of it.
What we should say is Chelsea, of course, have got another chance of getting into the Champions League, even if it all goes wrong from today. Because obviously if they win the thing, they qualify. But meanwhile, back here, we've been given 3 additional minutes to play. Yeah, they're talking on the telly about Europe now, and firstly, I'm prepared to admit that we're not going down, and I'm prepared to concede that we are in fact going to Europe. Just foul somebody's play on the advantages played, but it's a tackle that was unnecessary, really, that far up the pitch, and Lingard's just been pulled up anyway for a lazy little trip.
Joining us, Gnome, joining us for the final whistle is Rio. Looks like we're going to get to hear the cheers and the applause from the London Olympic Stadium live. Rio, how are you doing? Have you enjoyed the second half?
I've thoroughly enjoyed it. What more do you want? It's an exemplary performance in the second half. We've hardly put a foot wrong. We've seen Jesse Lingard grow in this game more and more. We've seen a wonderful assist and finish by Declan Rice. I've got nothing to moan about for a change. What's gone wrong?
Rice has just been substituted, by the way, to give him. I think that's it's a Diop's the player to come on. Declan Rice just basically substituted to allow the crowd to give again the ovation as much for the season as it was for today's efforts. The European tour song comes on. Yeah.
You heard it here first. Rio, I don't know if you've heard, but Tottenham have scored again. They're winning at Leicester now, so it looks like they're going to be finishing 7th after all. The only disappointing note, I suppose, on a thoroughly enjoyable afternoon. Looking around you, has everyone stayed in their seat, or have there been a lot of people leaving early? Difficult to tell, of course, today with all those white seats around you. No,
to be honest, I haven't seen one person leave it, which is really refreshing to see. I think everyone's been so desperate to get back in. A really fine season for the lads. You know, they've done incredibly well. And to stay to the end and in the round of applause they deserve at the end, everyone's doing it. So more than happy. As I say, I've just seen one person leave, but they might be going to Rollo. You know, I don't know. It's been a long day.
Go and ask him. Where do you think you're going? Is there a lap of honour, Rio, at the end today?
It hasn't been communicated. I'm presuming there's going to be some.
There it is.
That's the final whistle.
Sorry, Rio, you were saying, go on.
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, there should be. I'm presuming there's going to be, but it's not been communicated at all. But you know, it's been so long. The fans been out the ground. I think it'd be a mark of respect for both us and the players, so we can reciprocate the appreciation for this season. Yeah. So I'll hang around.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, as you can hear in the background there from Rio live at the London Olympic Stadium, West Ham have qualified for Europe, but because the final whistle has blown and it has finished West Ham United 3, Southampton 0. The Hammers going 3-0 up and managing to hold on to that lead for the first time this season. I think remarkable scenes. The goals coming in the first half, both coming from Pablo Fornal, scoring in the 30th and the 33rd minute, And then the final goal, putting the icing on the cake, Declan Rice scoring 5 minutes from the end of full time to make it West Ham United 3, Southampton 0. West Ham finish the 2020-21 season in 6th place in the Premier League. We are officially a top 6 club, whatever those bods at the European Super League say. And we are going on a European tour. Gnome, wrap it up for us today.
Well, first 15, 20 minutes, we didn't impress. It's fair to say that. Southampton had some good chances. The one from Minamino that just drifted wide in particular, basically was hard at time. But really, from the second we scored, that was it. Southampton kind of, it was like they'd said, let's go for this. We're not going to put our feet up or go straight to the beach. And then as soon as they went 1-0 down, they just thought, where's that parasol? Anyone got some around you? And two in only a few minutes, it was always going to really rip the heart out of them. One sort of save from Fabianski in the second half, I think, but really it was comfortable as a pair of old slippers. And the icing on the cake was Rice's goal. A nice way to cap off a fine season for the player, for the team. He's got the biggest grin you'll ever see on him. Second biggest grin looks like Moyes'. He's basically all his staff and handshakes. Declan Rice is on the interview, so have a chat with Rio for a second.
We'll do. Well, you probably can't see this, Rio, from the distance of where you are, but there's huge smiles on all the players and David Moyes down there on the pitch. Mark Noble is just running around hugging everyone. I'm sure you can see that as well. But Declan Rice is giving an interview now. But how do you summarise what you've seen today? First of all,
barring that opening 20 minutes when we looked very, very sluggish, bit lethargic, I thought we grew into the game really well. Obviously, the goals are going to help, but we looked like a different level after that. We kind of stepped up a gear, and barring that disallowed effort, it was never in doubt, was it? I think Craig Dawson was exemplary at the back, and if had it not been for Pablo Fornells getting 2 goals and assists, I would have given him man of the match. But for an end of season game where we still needed to get a point, we still needed to assert our efforts. It's very un-West Ham-like to be so confident and so assured.
Yeah,
we have no dramas on the final day of the season. It's just so unnatural.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'm allowed to turn around and throw the pitch. Is that or are we on dodgy ground there?
I think we are. Yeah, we.
I suppose I'm going to do a lap of honour. I'll keep it like that. All right.
Yeah, okay.
Players are doing lap of honour in front of me now. So
all right, good stuff. I mean, a quick flash probably wouldn't hurt, but as long as it is, there aren't any lingering scenes. But there you can see the players doing a lap of honour at the London Olympic Stadium right now. Getting they're just desserts as far as applause from the fans goes. West Ham have finished the season in 6th spot, as we said, 65 points. It is a record points haul for a Premier League season for West Ham United. Looking elsewhere, Tottenham, who were our only real challengers on the day for a 6th place finish, have won at the King Power Stadium. They've actually scored a 4th in the 5th minute of added on time. Gareth Bale making it 4-2 for Spurs, who were 2-1 down to give them that Conference League spot in 7th place, just about usurping Arsenal, who were ahead of them at one point on the live league table during the day. Chelsea qualifying for the Champions League as a result of Leicester's defeat, even though they fell to a 2-1 defeat at Villa Park themselves. Declan Rice has just been chatting to Sky Sports. Gnome's been listening to it, and he's going to tell us what Declan had to say.
Rather predictably, he used his standard catchphrase. You can tell I'm buzzing with this phrase, which is standard Riceism. He said, considering where we were last year, this is great, Europa League. The whole squad is buzzing. And, we're really looking forward to that next season. And, he said it was nice to get the goal at the end, particularly as he missed the penalty against West Brom. So, just short and sweet interview, but you can tell that the lad was, the endorphins were flowing, shall we say.
A bit like Said Ben Rama when he was about to come on a sub earlier in the game, I think you'll find.
I think that was testosterone, I think you'll find.
Yeah, you wouldn't have seen that, Rio, but there was a close-up of Ben Rama about to come on the pitch, and let's just say he looked quite excited about his forthcoming introduction. Rio, 65 points. It's just been an amazing season, isn't it? It's, we've seen every minute of every game pretty much close up. Apart from today for yourself, of course, you've been live you've been there at the stadium. But how do you sort of sum up what you've seen this year? It has to be one of the best, really, as a West Ham fan, that we've seen in our lifetimes, isn't it?
It's been strangely different to our last successful season, the Paya era, because it's been a different style of football at times.
Yeah.
But that's not to take anything away from what this club's achieved this season. It's against all the odds. We've harped on time and time again about the threadbare nature of our squad, the fact that we haven't been funded, and everything has been against the odds. We've built an remarkable team spirit. It's been a different style of football at times. Before Christmas, it was very much safety first.
Yeah.
Secure that. Be more secure at the back, more professional. We've ever since I signed Lingard, we've kind of expanded a little bit, and it's brought a whole host of different emotions, hasn't it? We've struggled to hold on to 3-0 leads and terrify the life out of everybody. But we've seen everything from this team this season. We've seen resilience, flair, defensive now, attacking verve, absolutely everything. And it's testament to how well this squad's done. Such a tiny squad that they're all together. They've held on to. It looked a bit touch and go at times, so we won't make this European spot, but we've done it. And I can't praise this whole squad enough. They've done absolutely remarkably well, and they made everyone associated with this club so very proud. I'm absolutely delighted.
So very proud. I think we're all feeling that tonight, Rio. Just looking at that table, Gnome, I know you didn't want to talk about it, but we've missed out on the Champions League in the end by 2 points. It's quite an incredible performance by the Hammers this season, really.
Oh yeah, most talent either way, really, weren't they? From being a bit closer, anyway. This is not the time to go for recriminations or anything like that. I think today is the day that we actually sit and appreciate what we have done rather than what we didn't do in the end. Another day for turning around and saying, just a little bit more luck. This and that might have happened. Well, yeah, fair enough. But what have we done? We finished sixth. We finished sixth with one of the smallest squads in the league in terms of genuine Premier League quality. I think we've done it with injuries to key players at key times. We've done it. You can't. The smiles on the faces that I'm seeing now. There's Rob Pritchard there with the.
Yeah, I spotted him.
Yeah,
put on a bit of timber, isn't he?
He has, yeah.
Like we can talk.
My duty, yeah. Just remember to see all those years ago in Malta with some shorts on. That wasn't a pleasant sight. I've got no idea as to how the groups will pan out, or who we may or may not, or what the chances of picking up various teams are. Because I've been very good. I haven't even looked at that. As I've said all season, let's see where we end up. But somewhere nice and warm would be nice, sort of for one of the earlier games, before winter sets in.
Yeah. Preferably not Tbilisi again. Somewhere a little bit closer to home would be be nice. But we are joined by the fourth musketeer once again at the end of the game. Another big smile on his face. Another West Ham supporter featuring a big grin this afternoon. Pinky, we're all going on a European tour.
Absolutely.
Take it away.
Yeah, the common market will be all over Europe. police forces across Europe will be delirious with joy at seeing the famous West Ham United rocking up in a town near you. But you know what? And so they should be, because this season we've played a mixture of good and less good football. But you know what? We've finished with 65 points, goal difference of what, plus 14, sixth spot. There isn't a West Ham fan on the planet, not even the chairman, would actually have said back in August, this is where we're going to finish this season. Very well done by David Moyes and the players. Really great stuff.
Just, you know, is there a smidgen of disappointment in there as well, though, Pinky, that we're 2 points? That's all that separated us and Chelsea. One more win and we would have ended up in the Champions League spots. You know, any sort of, you know.
The tiniest. But look at the clubs that finished above us. You know, at the end of the day, in terms of where the money is in the league, you know, it's above us. And what we've done is we've done it on a shoestring budget. David Moyes has, you know, is there a candidate anywhere near him for manager of the season? Because he's done it on an absolute shoestring in the relative sense. And you know, the players have delivered in spades this afternoon. You know, we've seen every single player in the squad play their part all season. We've coped with injury lists that would cripple bigger clubs than ours, and yet we've got through an adversity. And this afternoon, a very comfortable 3-0 win in the end. Could have been more. And I think, you know, the only downside for me is I think we saw what was probably Declan Rice's farewell appearance in a West Ham United shirt. Yeah, my view, when he came off the field, it looked a bit of a farewell applause to the fans. And I think that's the last we've seen of young Declan, unfortunately. But good luck to him with whatever he decides to do in the future. But we'll be in Europe. And you know what? Don't have to make it a bit easier to attract some players. So good afternoon for West Ham.
I could give you a bit of an update, Pinky. They interviewed Declan straight after, and he was just buzzing about how much he's looking forward to the Europa League next season. So make of that what you will. He was on pure adrenaline when he was talking there. He was, you know, it didn't look to me that was a staged thing. He said he was buzzing. Really,
well,
buzzing.
That is terrific news, because I tell you what, you know.
Guys, cheers.
Yeah, you know, he is the one true superstar we've got at the club at the minute. And if we can hang on to him, build a team around him, and that sends a really powerful message to the other players if he's willing to stay. So let's hope that's the case. But this afternoon, make no bones about it, you know, we were miles better than Southampton. They'd sort of given up completely, and 3-0 could have been 4 or 5. We were easily the better team on the day. What a terrific season, you know. And you know, whilst I'm not very happy.
And we seem to
can't
have lost.
actually
No, he's back.
10,000 West Ham here today, and I will give the club credit for that, because you know there's 10,000 people enjoy their afternoon this afternoon. That's for sure.
Yeah, well done, West Ham United. Great to see 10,000 happy Hammers, delirious Happers back in the stadium to watch West Ham qualify for Europe for the first time in 5 years, is it now? 4 years, 5 years. But Rio is making his slow trudge back to the station from the stadium. I hope Rio can still hear us. But Rio, Europe, we can say it's on now. Are you still with us, Rio? I'm not sure if we've lost him momentarily. I think we have. So I'll go to Gnome anyway. But
yeah, do you want some blasts from the forum?
Yes, please. Why not? Let's do that. Let's have a look at the forum quickly.
Yeah, Paddy O'Hammer, it's great to be part of the Big Six. Bonzo's beard, I'm over the Champions League. Be gutted if I was Leicester fan, though. Swiss Tony, a man after my own heart. We are staying up. Here's a phrase we haven't heard from a while. From SH. Overchuffed and proud. Did we get invited to the Super League straight away, or does that happen after the Euros? That's so there's some more stuff here. Let's have a look. Right. Yeah. That was it. So Brother Nero. What a season. I won't lie. I'm sitting here in floods thinking about my father who died a few months back. He'd have loved this season. Dad, you'll be up there next season watching our beloved Irons on a European tour. Well, cheers to you, Brother Nero, mate. That's that sort of kind of brings. Yeah, I mean, all the silly comments and all that. Sometimes you forget about the actual sort of human side of things and how much this can mean to on an ordinary human level.
The human side, £6.30 a pint. The human side, I'll give you the human side. Yeah, I'll tell you what, it's a diabolical price for lager. But you know what? As long as we win 3-0 every week, I'll pay it. There you go. That's my deal with the stadium.
I'm not sure I paid that much for this bottle of champagne that I've just opened. But I have to say, I do live not particularly where I am, but the general area that I live in is rather well heeled, shall we say. And behind the counter in my local off license, they do have a bottle of champagne that retails for the price of £495. But I've just gone for the bog standard one. They don't keep behind the counter. They keep in the fridge that you can actually serve yourself with. So
in my local off license, they keep the baseball bat in case you try and steal the lager. But there you go. That's just different neighbourhoods. Guys, I'm going to love
right,
you.
obviously, Binky. Yeah, right.
Great season. Well done, West Ham. Brilliant effort by the players this season. And yeah, stay tuned. And auf Wiedersehen, au revoir, arrivederci, and whatever it is in Dutch. Cheers, lads. Ta-da.
Ta-da, mate. Thanks for joining us. Have a safe journey home, and we'll catch up again soon. The Pink Palermo, live from the London Olympic Stadium for us. Rio as well. Rio seems to have disappeared. Hopefully, we'll be able to get him back at some point. But great to see the lads at the stadium this afternoon, lapping up some of that atmosphere, however diluted it may have been this afternoon. But a great opportunity for the fans to let the players know just how proud we are of them all this season. The whole club, the whole management team, everyone, perhaps not the whole club, but yeah, everybody involved with the playing side at least. Don't want to go on a downer today. It's a wonderful afternoon for West Ham United Football Club. Everybody involved with the club. Speaking of which, the manager of that particular football club, David Moyes, has been speaking. I don't know if he's come on Sky Sports yet, but he's been saying one or two things. He said he'd like to say a big thank you to the club for allowing me to get my teeth into the job. Make sure you're all vaccinated. Get your passports out because we're going to Europe. And he also says the players have been unbelievable from day one. We've had some great times this season. Certainly one Gnome that's going to live long in the memory, you would say. Yeah. So many highlights from this season. We do one of the KUMB award categories, which I should point out, KUMB Awards voting will be opening up this week within the next 48, 72 hours. One of the categories we have is most memorable match. Now, you're probably looking at Tottenham, I guess, as the one that sort of stands out. But what really have been the main highlights for you this season? Not just that particular game, perhaps, but what else sort of stands out for you from, as we said, it's been quite a remarkable year.
It's more of a general point rather than me sort of pointing out and saying, "Oh, it's that game or that game or that game." I think it's been the fact that we've been a team. Some of the comments on here before my computer decided to refresh along watching the team go around the pitch there. Wasn't it great to see what a tight unit they all are and how together they are? That's something we, from time to time haven't had. And you credit Moyes for that, but also credit for the senior players for getting that tight knit that thing in there. I mean, Ben Rama, we think he's not here now, but we've mentioned Ben Rama, who's perhaps not lived up to the transfer fee. But when he scored the other day, you just saw how delighted everyone was for him. And so, that sort of thing going on. Fornals, the stupid grin he had on his face there. And when he scored, literally everybody's over there, aren't they?
Isn't he a bit of a throwback for you? Just touching on Pablo Fornals there quickly. It reminds me of watching players from the 70s. When he used to watch the big match on a Sunday lunchtime, and in the intro, the lead up, you'd have those pictures of Stan Bowles and Georgie Best just laughing as they were playing football.
Players with a
He
smile
kind
on their
of,
face.
yeah, exactly. That old cliche, and he really does, doesn't he? And you know what I've really enjoyed watching, I think, as far as the players are concerned, every time we score a goal, you watch Pablo Fornals, and he's like a kid over the park when one of his mates has just scored a goal. You know, he's fist pumping and he's punching the floor and jumping in the air. It's just so refreshing and great to watch in in these cynical times, I guess.
Yeah. It is a joy to watch. Maybe that's got as much to do with maybe some of the people who are no longer at the club. I don't know. It's often been said that things improved with the departure of certain players. Maybe not. But it is a joy to see. I do love. I mean, I'm going back, and the guy never really made it. But when you see sort of unadulterated joy on a player's face, just remember. If you remember A.D. Coker's debut at Crystal Palace, I think 69.
The Spurs goal. The first goal.
Yeah, and just it was his debut. He scores on debut. I think he was a late replacement for Hurst that day as well.
Yeah,
and just a pure unadulterated. It was like watching a kid who'd scored, and it's. And
it is actually. You've mentioned that, and that's a really good shout, I think, because it's just like Fornals, that isn't it? It's like the fist pumping, and it's very much that. But I don't think he scored many more after that, did he, A.D. Coker? Before
no, I mean, he did score one against Spurs, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
That was. I've got a long story about that particular game. I think if you go back, there was footage of me. We stood on the West Terrace as it was then. And I'm not all that tall. Well, you can imagine what I was like at the age of 8 or 9, however old I was there. And we had a friend over. Stuart was over from South Africa, so there was me, Stuart, and Dad watching this game. I got no way of seeing the game. They had an umbrella that they were holding between them, and I was sat there for 90 minutes. They were holding up. So. Great memories of that day. To meet Brian Moore and Jimmy. And it's just a great day for a 9 or 10-year-old.
Fantastic.
We had somebody at the club, a guy called Alec Maguire, who was the club's auditor at the time. Into the director's bar. But before that, he showed us all around the changing rooms and all that. And the Tottenham skipper was a massively great Welshman called Mike England. And me being a cheeky little work of a 9-year-old or whatever it was, as he's walked by, I've got 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, 2-0. And Mike England swore at me. And my dad's not the tallest of guys and all that, but my dad said, "Oi, apologise." And Mike England very sheepishly says, "Sorry, son." And then my dad clipped me around the ear for being a cheeky little son. But it's that 9-year-old innocence, joy. The fact is that you look down there and he's getting paid 30, 40, 50,000. Well, I don't know what they get paid these days. The fact is that he's got the same smile on his face as I had, getting paid nothing for scoring for Midland Bank and Civil Service all those years ago. It's the same big stupid grin. And I mean, just sorry, another one of these comments. Bonzo's beard has got 51 years old and trying to enjoy players going around the pitch. But I've got a bit of grit in my eye, apathetic. And it's that sort of thing. So
it is. It absolutely is. We're all feeling that today. I mean, I think however old you are, it's a great day for West Ham United. One of the fans who's been there, one of the lucky 10,000 who was able to enjoy it live from the stadium was Rio, and our man joins us on the stream once again, been in and out, but we're delighted to have him back. Rio, you're not in the stadium now. We did manage to see you sneaking away before your stream. Where are you now, buddy?
Sorry, mate. Sorry. Someone talking my. What is now known as the last drop, which is formerly known as a podium bar, which is just opposite the stadium, the aquatic centre.
Yes.
Yeah, the last season, the supporters club Rideau came. This season, I couldn't find anywhere else that was open, and this is the nearest thing. It's my first drop over here for a long, long time, because as Gnome would tell you, because used to or after the game for a little couple of bits the last season we was allowed in, but I kind of dropped off the radar a little bit. But
Yeah.
I'm hopefully back now. Just enjoying a well-earned point.
There you go,
So-
mate. Cheers.
So you,
enjoy
Sue, to Pinky, and to all the people watching, good health.
Good health, everybody. Indeed. Rio, I was asking Gnome a few minutes ago about, as I said, one of the categories in our annual KUMB awards is most memorable match, and there's been plenty of amazing moments this season, but we said that the Tottenham game is going to be clearly one of the highlights, if not the highlights. And in the end, it proved Manny Lanzini's goal proved to be enough to ensure we finish above Spurs and take us into Europe. But looking back at the season itself, what really stands out for you? What particular highlights, have been your favourites from the last 8 or 9 months or so?
My actual favourite moment, obviously, the Tottenham away. It was. The last 15 minutes were monumental, sorry. On the stream when we did, I went and unfortunately I was just shy of getting that, because we was 3-0 down at the time, or 3-1. Close to that. But so that's my favourite game for this whole season. It's probably Leicester away.
Yeah.
Because there is a team that for quite a long time flying, and we just went there. And we tore them apart. We absolutely devastated them. And it's the first time in ages that we evidence of what we've seen throughout this year is our free-flowing nature. When we hit on the counter-attack, we do it with real venom. There's that fabulous goal by by Pablo Fornals, and the final goal to the 3-0 victory was just a masterpiece. So, yeah, to go to the Walker Stadium and absolutely give a sign absolutely flying. We gave them an absolute hiding, and it was something to be really proud of. But there's been a few games. I mean, there's 2-3 draws that would stick out. I mean, obviously, we just mentioned the Tottenham up White Hart Lane. But for the other reason, at the opposite end of the spectrum, is the Arsenal game at home. The first 45 was absolutely battering them. If you're going to look in hindsight and put a modelling effect on this today's events, that's the game that cost us. But we should have won that, not only because we went 3-0 up, but also because Antonio hit the post in the second half. But yeah, I don't want to put too much of a negative spin on today's events and on the whole season. But it's been fantastic performances. The first half against Manchester United at our Grand, we absolutely ripped into shreds, and they're on the verge of winning Europa League, because they've got an easiest kind of final in theory, and they've qualified for the Champions League. But we absolutely destroyed that Manchester United side beyond recognition. The game at home to Tottenham, it wasn't the prettiest in the end. We was hanging on, but it's always nice to beat them, and the goals we scored were converted with some flair and some verve. Beating Wolves at home 4-0. Away wins at Burnley. Again at Wolves. Playing with some standing football. There's been so many positives. And if you want to an old school David Moyes style at it, the 1-0 winner up at Goodison Park, a place where it's been an absolute graveyard for us over the years.
Yep.
We controlled that game, and to get that late winner, and then to discover that Thomas Soucek loves and thrives on potato salad. I mean, what more do you want?
Yes, the things you learn. Yeah, I guess that would be one of the highlights of the season. I mean, and of course, Gnome, it's all turned out really well, but my gosh, it couldn't have started much worse, could it? Let's go all the way back to the 12th of September 2020, Newcastle United at home. We went into the season with renewed optimism, having stayed up, last year, just about, and we put in one of the most insipid, dire, dreary displays you've ever seen from a West Ham team, let alone David Moyes, and fell to a 2-0 defeat. And there we all were. I mean, I think if we roll the stream back, you can probably hear us at the end talking about, here comes another relegation battle. Talk about lull us into a full sentence of security.
Yeah. Sorry, just trying to remember how the result went. So we lost to Newcastle. Who were next? Is it Arsenal next, or am I?
We lost to Arsenal, didn't we? 2-1, narrowly beaten, yeah, and that late goal.
We played quite well there, I thought, and we're a bit unlucky to lose that. And then I think then we went up to Leicester. Quite early on.
We had in between. We were kind of playing EFL Cup, Carabao Cup games, weren't we? In between, we beat Charlton and Hull, and then we went. Yeah, the third game of the season, we played Wolves at home, and
Right.
it was that period, wasn't it, when it started to. We started to think, well, hang on a minute, this is quite interesting. We beat Wolves, went to Leicester, which was the one which blew us all away. I think, and then of course went to Tottenham 3-0 down. We thought it was another false stall, and then came back to do that. And then Man City held Man City.
Newcastle, we were not good. Arsenal, we all came away thinking, well, actually, we were a bit unlucky there. But my thought was then that you can go for a whole season, but if your luck's not in and you're not getting points when you ought to win, things like that, or your luck tends to sort of carry on bombing, doesn't it? Well, that sort of thing. And then, let's say we beat Wolves, as you say, and that was a good win and all that. Of course, we went up to Leicester, and I think that's been the difference this season. In the past, we've gone and done things like, you go and win a game. You'd have a tough win somewhere you wouldn't have been expected to get a win, maybe Chelsea, for example. So, and then you'd have whoever's bumping along the bottom the next week and struggle. This season, as the season progressed, if we had a win, I wasn't suddenly expecting the wheels to come off the following week. And, by and large, that was quite a good theory to have, because by and large, they didn't. Yeah. And, I think we've looked a lot more professional, as people have said, this season. And, you've gone in sort of expecting the team play well rather than hoping that they might.
Yeah.
And, there have been days when we haven't. And, but then, it's a 38-game season. You're never going to play well for 38 games on the trot. Even Manchester City have had off days. Yeah. But, there were things to sort of take out, even games we lost. I mean, when we went up to Man City, we only lost it 2-1, wasn't it, as I recall? Yes. And, that's probably the toughest game. Even Leicester, when they beat them 5-2, was a bit of a freak result up there. And, that was probably one of the toughest games they had all season. And look how far ahead they ended up.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
It's, as I say, hats off to Moyes. He's got a team there. He's got a team, literally a team, as we were saying earlier on, Rhea, before we came on. You just had to see when Fornell scored, the stupid grin that he had, the stupid grin that every other player had, and he's got that team spirit. Yep. That you can't just sort of invent that. That comes by people working together as a unit, and it's. Yeah, so
okay, good stuff.
I'm just looking a bit more. Some other stuff to come on the. Brother Nero's got a text from a former work colleague who supports Leicester. I'll use the word messed up. Messed up top 4 2 seasons running. Rodgers has to be sacked. Not good enough.
Hard life at the top, isn't it? Eh? Hard life at the top.
Rio, we finished behind them.
Yeah, amazing, isn't it? Amazing.
Look at the difference.
Rio, sorry. No mention there that we've got a team. We really do have a team. Moyes has got a team together there. We have got a team, but the question is, have we got a squad, and have we got a squad capable of challenging in Europe next season?
No. in short terms. And it's something I pointed out on the forum the other week, well, probably during the week. This summer, we've got 3 of our key players who are not going to get a break. We've got Soufal, Soucek, Declan Rice going straight into the European Championships.
Yep.
On top of that, we've got European games like Europa League. It's a really hefty work rate. It's a workload that for the squad we've got. And as 3 of our key players are not going to get a break this season. We've been lucky that they've lasted as well as they did. I know Declan got that injury towards the end of the season, but those 3 players have got to be really carefully managed. Otherwise, we're going to find ourselves struggling domestically because the toll will hit us. Yep. So unless we invest wisely in the summer, it doesn't have to be fortunes. I mean, I trust David Moyes to recruit the right players at the right price. We need the chairman to kind of loosen his purse strings a little bit and back his manager, because he'll bring in the quality needed in the areas needed.
How much does he need, Rio? Do you think? I mean, what would be a minimum? You know, we know roughly what a decent player costs, a midfielder, a goalkeeper. You know, you're looking at 10 million plus for a keeper, striker, anywhere upwards from 30 million plus. How much does he need realistically to make that squad capable of putting in a decent challenge? I mean, and let's not forget, in order to challenge for Europe, you've got to have a side that's capable of still performing in the Premier League, can't you? You know, it doesn't need 15 or 16. You need 22 players plus, really, to make a decent effort in both.
Well, trying to put a figure on it's very difficult because we don't know how the transfer market's going to pay out over this COVID malarkey. I was going to say I can't see the prices being as extortionate they have been in recent years because the money just isn't there. But it will dictate it still will be. The likes of PSG, City, they seem to have money flying about still. So it's a really hard one to go. Looking at it, I mean, as you said, we definitely need 2 more strikers. We definitely need 2 central midfielders. We definitely need a left back and a goalkeeper. Now, off the top, that's 7, 8 players. Plus, anyone who leaves has to be replaced. If we're going to make a good go of all compositions, we have to replace who leaves. It's going to take a lot of juggling around with wage bills and because 35 million, 50 million, which clearly is nowhere near enough. Unless the Bosman market is there. But anyone on the free transfer is going to be chased by virtually every club on that chasing pack. So
And what about?
It comes into play. Sorry, mate.
No, go on. Sorry, carry on.
No, it's very hard one to gauge in terms of actual. You X go and spend it because you know it's unworthy. This summer of all summers is probably. It's the hardest one to gauge because COVID fallout, for one. Then you get the inflated market, European Championships, because players who perform well in that, their price rockets.
Yeah.
So it's very hard to gauge.
Okay. No, two key players in the second half of this season at least. Declan Rice, Jesse Lingard. Pinky said he felt that Rice may have played his last game for West Ham just after the final whistle. You mentioned that, he'd given an interview saying how much he was looking forward to featuring in the Europa League next year. So Jesse Lingard, though, do you see either or both of those playing for West Ham still at this time next season?
I'd like to think both of those will be West Ham this time next season. I think that Lingard will be. Just comments that were attributed to him, and I haven't read the full interview, so again, these things can be taken out of context, I suppose. But there was just seemed like the comments he made were thanks for getting me back on track. But playing as well as he did for most of his time, that's something that Man United won't have missed, and I think that might well end up sort of pricing him out of our price range.
Okay.
There are other teams might want to come in for him that are richer than us. Rice, I think, will be there next year. So I'm sort of, as I mentioned last week, I worry that the figure that I would accept for Rice is significantly greater than that the club might do. But I want to get off this, though. Are they going to be here next year? What we need to do next year? Because I actually want to go back to just celebrating what we've done this year. All right. Yeah, I'm big as critic as anybody of the ownership and things like that. But I don't think this is a time for that.
Okay.
Tell me I'm talking rubbish if you like.
No, it's fair enough. But I mean, we are. I'm sure people will be talking about this now. Now we've qualified, and now the 6th place is in the bag. People will look ahead to. I'm sure the transfer thread will be going wild from this evening on the KUMB.com forum, for example.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just looking at this as if we'd all been able to be there. We'd be in the pub. We'd be talking about this game. We'd be laughing at Tottenham, of course, because that's what they're for. But it's I just want to really sort of celebrate this. I'll tell you what, a comment that something that we've kind of said a bit, but I don't think I've seen it encapsulated quite so well. Was on the forum here, Danny Boy, DJL. That lap of honour was emotional. We've had a lot of, and I'm presuming that's crap. I think we're allowed crap, aren't we?
Yeah, I'll let you have that one.
Yeah, okay. Rubbish over the last few years. But this is the line. That was one of the nicest moments I can remember from a really likeable group of players and staff. And I think, Danny Boy, I think you hit the nail on the head there with that, because when you look at that bunch, you look at them and you see them, as I say, being a team, and the four nails grin, the Declan Rice, the young man, as he put it, buzzing, as he always says. You look at them, you think, they look good blokes, don't they? I mean, and Souček and his potato salad, it does look a really good, likeable bunch.
And I think what's also key, Rio, continuing on from what Gnome's saying there, is that not only has this been, they are a decent bunch of blokes, and you look at them and you think they'll probably be a good bunch to go out on a night with, but the way we've done it as well, no history on it, no diving, no cheating, and as West Ham perhaps proved to the rest of the Premier League in some way that you can achieve results and go forward without having to resort to the dark arts.
Yeah, absolutely. The two Czech lads to come in, I think, mentality, but an ethos. Because if you want to foul someone, right? We've seen it this season with Jack Grealish. If you breathe within 15-metre radius of him, he's going to go down on his knee. Zaha, who whinges about everything and goes down cheaply. You Southell's head off and Souček's knee off, like, to actually get a reaction from them, to make them think, oh, they might be in trouble there. We're doing everything by the book. Small squads, small budget, but a big personality, a big work ethic, professionalism that I haven't seen at West Ham for quite many years, to be honest. It's just a delight to watch. I'd also like to just go and eking back a couple of moments ago. You've just said that Pinky has claimed while I was en route to this bar that Declan played last game for us. Yeah. Now this was Mr.
Yes, he felt that might have been. Yeah.
He was Mr. on Wednesday night, Mr. Funbus, because we was a bit dubious and a bit apprehensive. So Mr. Funbus was like, dare I say, as Pinky parked the bus, because it's all gone wrong. He's put doubt in my mind. I've had a fantastic day until you said that.
Well, what I did say was that, because I have having interview that Declan gave literally seconds after the final whistle, that he didn't have advert board. And he was full of what a great bunch of lads it was, and how he and they were looking forward to the league. So, and it was pure, as I used the phrase before the season, pure adrenaline that was coming out of Declan's mouth there. He was, as he put it, buzzing. It wasn't a case of stand there and he's thinking about what he's saying. Whatever he was saying was straight from his heart.
Yeah.
That didn't sound like, to me, that somebody who's got plans to go. Now, as we all know, it can often be the case that players move when they want it to go. But I certainly, from that impression, I mean, bless him. He's a lovely lad and all that. And I may be doing this. It doesn't seem the sort of
Cynical,
most academic, shall we say. So he was actually saying what he was saying as part of some actor. Well, I don't think he's got that in him to do that. That was pure honesty, pure adrenaline, pure from the heart. So whatever else might happen, as far as he's concerned, he's playing Europa League football next season.
Okay, good stuff. We shall see, of course. We'll find out very soon if Declan Rice is going to be at West Ham next year. But the signs are definitely good from what we've seen this afternoon. Let's talk about Rio. Let's talk about the man who's been at the core of all this, the conduit that's sort of kept it all together and tied it all into one very functional team. The manager, David Moyes, pilloried previously at Manchester United at Sunderland, came in as a firefighter, did a great job first time round, allowed to leave the club by the board and replaced by Manuel Pellegrini, and came in to save the club last year. This season, incredible stuff, completely turned it around. Is he a legitimate shout for Manager of the Year this year?
Absolutely. If he doesn't win it, I'd be devastated, to be honest. It's very easy to manage teams and win awards for winning titles and winning cups when you are funded by basically an oil-rich nation. No, Pep Guardiola has got every riches at his disposal in the footballing sense. Look at not just the transfer budget he has. Look at the facilities he's working amongst. Look at the calibre of players he inherited, let alone has developed and David Moyes is doing what he's done at West Ham on an absolute shoestring budget, dealing with, shall we say, notoriously difficult. So difficult, in fact, that as soon as a kind of a, shall we say, a sexier, more desirable option come along, shutting out the door quicker than you could keeping us up. He's done miracle work here. He won Manager of the Season, I think, when he got Everton into the top four, didn't he, a few years back?
Right.
So if he doesn't get it for cajoling us into sixth place league, when everyone above him, far more money at their disposal, better facilities, easier to work for employers. I mean, the man's a miracle worker, in my opinion. And when he came back the second time, I was like, what the hell are we doing? But he's proved me wrong. He's proved the bulk of the West Ham support wrong. I can't sing his praise enough of what he's achieved with this club. It's borderline miracle work.
No, Rio says David Moyes is a borderline miracle worker. I can't believe what he's achieved. Do you think, I don't think there's any West Ham supporter out there really who would have thought this is the kind of impact he would have on the club a second time. I mean, to take West Ham into Europe is some achievement. To do it having narrowly escaped relegation 12 months ago is, I think Rio's absolutely right. It's a borderline miracle, isn't it?
Yeah.
And before you answer that, let me just say David Moyes has been talking. just on Declan Rice, I'll let you fill in the gaps as per usual, but just on Declan Rice himself, Moyes has said, I don't think David Sullivan, David Gold or myself have got any intention of losing Declan Rice this summer. We've just qualified for Europe. He has been a big part of that, and we want him to be a big part next season. So David Moyes there on Declan Rice, and Gnome on David Moyes.
Yeah, you go back long enough when he was first appointed. I got dragged out for my lunch break by ITV and yeah, I was told it was wet, and I was interviewed outside, and I was not impressed. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, however many years ago, the first time he came, you know, I put it out. Nobody ever said, "Oh, good, we're playing a great David Moyes team." You know, I look forward to this, and you know, put my hand up. I said that then, and he's completely and utterly proved me wrong, and I'm so glad for him. Quite apart from anything else, having spent time in his presence and his company, a little bit more than most around here. I actually, you know, ignoring what he does for a living, I think, I actually really like the guy because he comes over to me as a genuine, honest bloke that, I mean, we were talking about Allardyce in midweek and his dig at Antonio, for example. And, yeah, you and I have both been there where he's come out with his, he's come into a press conference having spent 10 minutes looking at his laptop and digesting some stats. And, yeah, where there's been some bloody awful football. And Allardyce has, you know, somebody said, like, you know, is that really sort of the sort of football that you think the fans expect around here? Well, yeah. I don't know what they want. There were so many shots, 3 of which were on target. It wouldn't surprise me if he was the inventor of the expected goals ratio or whatever that thing is, just to try and prove something that wasn't happening. You'd never get that from David Moyes. If you came into a game or a press conference after a game with him, and it was a stinker, he'd say that was a stinker, that wasn't good enough. You know, he wouldn't try to gild the lily, and you know, it's just because of that, really, more than anything else. Having seen a long succession of West Ham managers over the past 15 years, when one was allowed in for those sort of things, you know, yeah, Bilic struck me as being sort of similar ilk. I felt generally sorry honest for Bilic. Yeah, honest, but when things turned out, I mean, the way they did. Southampton was a terrible manager, but a lovely guy, sort of thing. And you want the lovely guys to do well. I mean, you know, if Allardyce is managing your team, you want Allardyce to do well. But when he's not doing well, what you don't want him is to stand up and tell you that he is.
Which he used to do on a frequent basis, of course.
So I'm really, really pleased for the guy. I think he's a really good stand-up bloke, and you know, humble pie. Oh, right up there. He's proved me completely and utterly wrong, and you know, even apologies, dude. Sorry, David, not need to be watching this, but thank you for proving me wrong. As I say, hallmark of a David Moyes team is that they're a team. You know, and these previous successes have been at Everton, and they were always a team. Yeah, you know, and you know, far too often in the past we've had 11 players, but no team. You know, so
yeah, definitely a team effort.
Get back into the forum just for one person,
okay?
Because I think we ought to mention him on the grounds that he's somebody called Gaz has put his first post in.
Good lad.
First post ever. So I just think we ought to honour that. Long time West Ham supporter, since my dad told me who we support way back in the 70s. First time poster, but I wanted to add my voice to those mentioning the team spirit in the lap of honour. It brought a tear to my eye, if I'm honest, but don't tell the missus. Lovely touch with the Czech flags as well. Can't wait for next year. Welcome on board, Gaz. Welcome to the madhouse.
Great stuff from Gaz. I was just about to go. Oh, Rio is there. He's still there. Just very quickly, just very quickly before I come back to Rio, just a few comments from Saints Web, the Southampton forum. We have been really posted a lot from there, but this afternoon it's really been a celebration of West Ham, hasn't it? This afternoon, rather than a touch of Schadenfreude and laughing at the opposition. But they're not happy down on the south coast, as you would expect. Tedia, one of the posters there, says Bednarek shares much of the blame today. But West Ham wouldn't have scored if Jan had not let Rice had a clear run at goal. Talking about the final goal, shows just how both our main centre backs are. Botley Saint says, "Well, I'm glad it's over. We've had some poor finishes to the season before, but this one feels particularly bad as we've been bottom, or we've shown bottom of the table form since January. The noises coming from the club about changing things are not a good sign. We fear the worst moving forward. But at least we'll be in the Premier League for one more year. They certainly will." Dave Fizzy 14 says, "Such a disappointing display today. All 3 goals were gifted to the opposition. We need some big investment in the summer." I fear that will be a common theme amongst all 20 Premier League clubs, including the 3 that are going to be joining us next season. Could it be Brentford even? I don't think Brentwood will be playing in the Premier League next year. Manuel says, yeah, it'd be heading for Pinky, wouldn't it?
In Swansea, so I haven't got their new ground yet, so purely self.
That'd be good.
And also in memory of Dave Evans, of course, who was a big Brentford supporter.
Yes, of course. Yeah, Dave from the Newham Recorder, who we sadly lost earlier this year. Manuel, Saints fan, says, "Boom and bust with Ralph Hasenhüttl. We need someone to steady this ship, starting with the owner." Cloggy Saint says, "Well, I'm, for one, reasonably happy with the season. We didn't get relegated, and that's my ambition each season before a ball is kicked. I look forward to another 10 months of bedwetting on this forum next season." But Haddock, on a different note, says one of the darkest seasons in the last 20 years. I get the feeling he hasn't been a Southampton fan for that long. Anyway, a real mixed bunch on the Southampton forum. Saints Web this evening. We'll be bringing the best and the very worst of that via tomorrow's opposition view. If you tune into KUMB, look on the front page where all the latest West Ham news can be found. And has been posted for the last 24 years or so. I have a bit of an archive over there now at KUMB. We're going to end the stream this afternoon by looking ahead, as we always do. We haven't got any more games left this season to look ahead to. What we have got to look ahead to is a European tour next season. Yes, we're back in Europe. The Hammers are in the Europa League. The question is, Rio, I guess, is can we do better than we have done before? I mean, our previous forays into the Europa League have been very, very short. Even the UEFA Cup, I think, going back to the Palermo trip and those kind of things. We've not done very well, have we, traditionally? At least we'll get a few games this time around, I suppose.
Yeah, it's guaranteed group stage, so we're laughing at 6 games already, 3 trips. I think the first we got in the UEFA's the second round, wasn't it? Because we beat... Was it? Then lost the Stars.
Managed to get through, and we beat...
It was HJK Helsinki, Heerenveen and Metz in the Toto. Beat Osijek in the first round, lost to Stare in the second.
That's the Croatian team, wasn't it? That's right.
Yeah. And the last two times, actually. Everyone, what is it with poxy Romanian teams? As long as we don't play a Romanian team, we're going to win the bloody lots.
Well, did you see? Apparently, last night, Astra lost their game, and they're not in the Europa League this year. So, small, something to take heart from, I guess.
A little chant. Earlier on, Astra Gugu, we're coming for you, and sadly we're not. But I quite like Romania. Georgie Head is one of my favourite players of all time. But if we play a Romanian side, it is game over, isn't it?
Yes, definitely.
We're going to win the whole bloody lot if we don't play Romanians.
Do you? I mean, we don't really know. We don't really know who we're going to come up against. But I mean, do you think West Ham can make the group stages and who knows? Make the knockout phase and perhaps go even further next year? I mean, I guess a lot depends on what the squad looks like.
Yeah, I mean, I think the squad is a major thing. But again, it's who you're drawn against. I don't know how quite it works the whole competition, haven't they? So I don't if we'll be seeded, which I presume we are because of our league coefficient.
Yeah.
Drawn against, isn't it? I mean, I was looking at some of the teams who qualified, and you're looking at some of the teams mentioned in this competition, and there's some plum draws there, which we obviously won't get because they don't want us in Europe. So we'll probably get Bangor City, Maccabi Tel Aviv, and Aberdeen. So. But no, it's possible. Now, I think knockout stages, and once you get the knockout stages, anything can happen. As you know, anything can happen.
Yes, indeed. I can throw some dates at you for next year's or next season's competition. The first match day one is the 16th of September, and match day two the 30th of September. There's one in October on the 21st, two in November, the 4th and the 25th, and the final group match day is the 9th of December before the knockout round playoffs begin on the 17th of February, and then of course who knows where you can go. Gnome, Europa League next season is. What is it now? 11 years since we were last in Europe. I mean, and that was a pre-season tour. I didn't make the brief forays into Europe a few years back. But what do you reckon for West Ham this year? Could we get out of the group phase and perhaps go into the knockout phases?
I stick a little bit to my. I'm worried about that tomorrow thing. Yeah, Rio's right. I mean, it's going to be so dependent on what sort of draw we get. When I last looked, there were all sorts of names being thrown in that were possible entrants into the Europa League. Juventus was one. I don't know how they've finished up. I think it's their last day today as well. So, yeah, favourable draw. We obviously could, but at the risk of excuse me, going somewhere I said I wouldn't go. Yeah, we're going to need a bigger boat, as they said in Jaws. It's yeah, we had comments the other week about well, if we get to Europe, maybe we'll need some new players, maybe we won't, and then the follow-up comment to that was something on the lines of, well, we ain't got any money, so if we do need players, we're going to have to do it on the cheap, sort of thing. Now, there's no disgrace in picking up people on the cheap if you're looking at Soucek and Soufal, for example. But I just remember all those years ago when I think we ended up in a pre-season tour in Czechia, as it's called now, Czech Republic, Czechia, new name. And we came back with a striker that they had called Michelanda.
Michelanda, yeah.
This was with when Pardew and Peter Grant was in there, and I was at a sort of Q&A session with Pardew, and Pardew and Grant were there, and people were saying, "What's this Michelanda like?" And Pardew said, "Well, he's raw, but he's keen. He's raw. He's got good presence. He was struggling for an upper word." Grant turned around and said, "He's cheap." And kind of said it all. It was, never mind the quality, feel the wit, sort of thing. And I think quite apart from anything else, the cheap is one thing in terms of cost, but you need players of a quality, and whoever's spotted Soufal and Soucek earned their paycheck, if you pardon the pun, for that year's work. So we can do well in Europe. I wouldn't like to say we win the damn thing, because
of course
that may be an ask too far already, but at the moment I'm just sort of like so just breathing it all in. That's of course one thing we know is we won't be drawn against Tottenham, because they're not in it.
No, of course, the Spurs qualified for the new. Yeah, new European competition. Well, look, I can tell some of the teams that have definitely qualified for the Europa League next year. We're going to wrap this up very, very shortly, but before we do, we'll have a quick look at the teams. Juventus are in there. Paris Saint-Germain, according to this resource I'm looking at here, are in there as well, which seems a bit odd. But anyway, Bayer Leverkusen, Lazio of Serie A, Braga of Portugal, Eintracht Frankfurt. Now there's a blast from the past. Qualified. Leicester City, of course, finished 5th in the Premier League, or missed out on the Champions League. It'd be interesting to see how their fans take that one, given the way they reacted to losing to West Ham a few weeks ago. Lokomotiv Moscow are in there. West Ham United, of course, we know that. Real Sociedad and Real Betis from La Liga. The 5th place team in Ligue 1 will also qualify, as will 10 winners from the playoff round. Some of those teams include AZ, Fenerbahce, Zorya Luhansk. I don't even know who Zorya Luhansk are. I believe they're a Ukrainian team. Sturm Graz of Austria, Randers.
Oh, there's a name from the past.
Yes.
People of a certain age, all my sort of knowledge of European geography comes from knowing where football teams. Sturm Graz were one. They were always... They never won much or anything in Europe, but they were always one of those teams that used to come up in the UEFA Cup and or the Intercities Fairs Cup that preceded it.
No, that's going back a few years.
Yeah, I've actually we mentioned a while back. I haven't got it to hand actually. I'd have shown you it, but my mate, my good mate who passed away recently, Dave, who's the big Newcastle supporter. I think one of his favourite photographs. It's a picture of him in he's wearing a dinner suit, bow tie sort of thing, with the old Fairs Cup, which is the last thing Newcastle won back in 1969. And Newcastle put that photograph into their programme for the Arsenal game as a sort of, mentioning that he passed away. And we at the funeral the other week, we all got given a copy of that programme, which was a nice touch. So it'd be nice to win it for his memory, because I always used to kid him that the last trophy they won was so long ago. It wasn't just their shirts that were in black and white.
That's true. That's true. Well, yeah, I mean, it's a nice note to end the stream and the season on. In fact, we've, many people have lost family members over the last year. It's been a horrendous year for everyone, not just football fans, but everyone. COVID, lockdown, all that sort of stuff. It's been absolutely dreadful. So, and it's often said, isn't it? Football can give something back, and especially us as West Ham fans, we've had a fantastic year on the field, and and as we all know, people very, very close to us, especially on KUMB, have had some dreadful news and a tough year, and it's nice that football can put a smile on your face after everything that sort of happens. I guess is what I'm trying to say. My jumbled up method of doing so, but that's it. That's it from us for the season. It's been an interesting year. We spent the season communicating with you via these live streams rather than face to face at the ground. It's been a brilliant year for West Ham United. We've ended it in the top 6. We thought for a minute we might be finishing in the top 4 and being in the Champions League next year. Let's be honest, it probably would have been a step too far for us at this stage of our redevelopment. And it's probably good that we've ended up in the Europa League, even though we were just 2 points away from a top 4 finish. That's how fantastically David Moyes and his squad have done this season. I just want to say a few thanks. I mean, to my friends and colleagues here at KUMB, to Gnome and to Rio, and to the Pink Palermo who've joined me on this journey this year. It's it always is, as it has been for the last 20 years. It's been an absolute pleasure going on this journey with you, watching West Ham, talking about West Ham, as it has with everyone else who's been with us on the live streams. We're so grateful for your support. We've really enjoyed watching the games with you. A couple of people have said they'd like us to do it next year if we possibly can. Well, don't rule that out yet, because you know, it's a possibility. We're looking at how we can maybe continue it next year and do it again. But so as far as that's concerned, it's a watch this space. I'm going to let the boys say a few words if there's anything you'd like to say. So, Reno, I'll come to you first. You know, sum up the season for us, buddy, and you know this year as a whole.
To put it very succinctly and short, it's been absolutely magical, isn't it? It's been amazing. You know, in what has been the hardest season to deal with emotionally, because we're not there. We can't watch every game relentlessly. You know, to experience it with yourself and Gnome, Pinky, the other guys, everyone watching. It's been different, but it's been absolutely bloody fantastic. And it wasn't for I'm going to sing your praise here, Greg, because I know you don't like doing it, but you've kept you've kept me going throughout this season, because you hosting this and doing this service for not just us, right? It's for a lot of other people, and it's in. So, Razor's host you, mate. Thank you very much. It's been amazing. As for the club, I said it earlier on, we've outperformed ourselves. Fantastic. So, West Ham United, up the junction. This is to you. Cheers, guys.
You're going to get me going in a minute, mate. I'm going to have to stop. Thank you. It's been a pleasure. Thank you. No. Final summary from the final game of the season.
Yeah, big girls player, bro. Seriously, you know, I mean, yeah, this is something that my mum always says on these about me and football, is that, you know, you're 60 years old now. Like, yeah, isn't it about time you grew out of this? And yeah, clearly, you know, you work a lot of the day. Everybody works. People work their butts off and all that. And football is some sort of you know, sort of release safety valve and all that. And of course, not being able to go, it affects us all. You know, the fact that even though I can't go, I've got something I look forward to in a football match, even if it's just sitting talking complete twaddle for 90 minutes. You know, it's I talk it so nobody else has to, I suppose, is my thing. But seriously, no, I mean, the website as well is obviously been a big part of my life for the last how many years and all that. And you know, it's just been a lot of fun to do this. It really has. Yeah, it's a shame Pinky isn't here. We could have had 5 minutes about how he hates everybody, and he never wants to see it again. But no, it's a pleasure. I mean, just the website as a whole, I've met so many good friends over here. I mean, you two guys, yeah, Pinky, people that 30 years ago we didn't know and are now sort of firm friends. And I hope people have enjoyed watching this. I mean, people say they do, but obviously the ones who don't clearly don't slag us off. So we probably had them put to sleep or something. It's just been a great laugh. It's been a wonderful season. It's been a good laugh doing this. And here's to next year. And well, teach the sods for not giving us any points last night.
I'll drink to that. That is it. Thank you, Gnome. Thank you, Rio. Thank you to Pinky. Thank you to all of you for joining us throughout the season. As I said, it's been an absolute hoot. We've had a wonderful time. That's it from Eyes Up Mother Brown for another season. KUMBTV. West Ham United have qualified for the Europa League. We are top 6. Europe, here we come. Bring it on. Don't know what else to say, really. Just been a brilliant day, isn't it, really? And just, you know, wraps up a brilliant season. Yeah, that's about it. All I can say is that one's for Romford this afternoon. Our mate, Big Chaz. God bless you, Chaz. And God bless you all out there as well. We'll see you all very soon.
Going to do the hammer speed for the first time.
There you go. Look at that. There's a first. Take care all. See you all again very soon. Have a wonderful summer.
Cheers. Bye all.